Yes.
Okay. You buy animal products. By buying animal products, do you demand that more animal products are made?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You buy animal products. More animal products are made. By buying animal products, perfect. Do you demand? Wait 1 second. More I hear myself somewhere. I have a tab open somewhere with me. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. Take your
Yes.
time.
You buy animal products. More animal products are made. By Okay, I found it. Okay, so we've already established that you buy animal products and that means you demand more animal products are made. Do you think that in the production of animal products, violence is happening towards animals?
Sorry, I didn't understand the last bit of this sentence.
Sure. When you In the production of animal products, are people being violent towards animals?
Uh, I was never in the field, so I've seen some videos of like people processing the meat, and from my
Are
perspective,
animals killed to procure their meat?
uh, I guess there are some kind of like facilities that can reduce the pain
Are
when
animals
killing the
killed to make meat?
when killing the animals, but yes.
Okay. Is it violent to kill an animal?
Yes, it is violent when killing an animal or
Okay.
any sort of animals.
Okay, well, I wrote down A, B, C, D. So you buy animal products. When you buy animal products, more animal products are made, so you demand the making of more animal products. And in the production of animal products, animals are killed, therefore, that is violent towards animals. So, amongst taking all these statements, because you buy animal products, you demand violence towards animals. Correct?
If you can draw that conclusion,
It's a
yes.
logical syllogism. There's no really, there's no other thing, right? You demand the making of animal products, and in the making of animal products, there's violence. Therefore, you demand violence. So,
Mm-hmm.
what justifies demanding violence towards innocent animals?
Survival,
Oh, but you
survive.
can survive without violence, right? Again, you choose. What justifies choosing violence? Not you have no other choice.
Okay, so if a person chooses to die from jumping from a cliff, would you blame that's a would you blame that's a cliff's fault?
If a person chooses to die, first of all, a cliff is not. What are you talking about? First of all, the person killed themselves. So, you are choosing for an animal to be exploited, abused, and slaughtered for you. Correct?
Yeah, yeah. I guess I yes.
Okay.
I'll never go deeply
So,
into
what
that
morally
when
justifies you
we
making
having
this
the
choice?
mm-hmm.
What morally justifies you making this choice?
Because I'm innocent.
You're innocent, but it seems like you're making a choice. Like, dude, how are you not getting this? We've been to. It's the third time. I'll try it again. Okay. You demand violence when there is no need for it. How do you justify demanding violence when there's no need for it?
Uh, well, I demand violence because I need meat
You don't.
to get better nutrients.
No, you don't. You can get all those nutrients from a plant-based diet. You don't need meat at all.
The thing is, I do need meat. I need vitamin B or
Which
vitamin
vitamin?
A from red meat.
Which vitamin do you need?
And I do not personally want to choose to take any supplements
Okay.
as a alternative choice.
Okay, so YOLO, if all the animals die off, and the only way for you to get your vitamin B12, because I'm assuming you mean vitamin B12, if all the animals die off because they get a virus, and the only way to get vitamin B12 is to either take a supplement or kill a human, which one would you choose?
Oh wow. Uh, that's a very philosophical question. Mm.
It's not that hard though, huh? Is it?
I would not. I mean, I would not choose to kill a human,
Oh,
obviously.
okay.
But
So what makes it okay to choose to kill an innocent animal when you can take a supplement, but not okay to kill an innocent human when you could take a supplement?
because I have more empathy towards human than animals.
Oh, okay. Do you think morality or with how we should act towards each other should be based on empathy? Or in other words, if I have no empathy towards somebody else, then I whatever I do towards them is moral because I have no empathy towards them?
Uh, well, the thing is, I have a range of emotions, right? So
So you're emotional.
yeah, well, no, I'm not saying I'm emotional. I'm saying that people have a range of emotions.
Why do you choose to exploit and slaughter innocent animals? And you said, because I have a range of emotions. So you're making an emotional choice to commit violence towards innocent animals.
Yeah, and often it's a blind emotion because I didn't like I said, I didn't slaughter animals in the first place.
No, no,
I'm
so
just a
you're doing it
consumer.
even worse. Because other people have to slaughter the animals for you. They have to endure
Yeah, it's their
the
job.
awfulness of slaughtering those animals. So you're demanding the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of animals while at the same time demanding suffering out of human beings. How is that justified?
Well, I think just most people like me, like most people like excuse me, like people without deep thinking about this kind of stuff would just take it for granted when they having meat.
Okay. Do
Uh,
you think you
so
should be vegan?
so to justify mm, having meat is a is kind of bit irrelevant to the life in which I live.
Do you think you should be vegan?
Right? Uh, well, like I said before, I think vegan is a choice.
Do you think you
And
should be vegan?
do I need to be a vegan though?
I'm asking you, do
I
you
think
think you
you're
should be
you're,
vegan?
you're
The question isn't whether you need to be, the question is whether you should be.
Mm, I I think I shouldn't.
Oh, you think you shouldn't? So you think
I,
you should continue being violent towards innocent animals and
Yeah.
demand suffering of humans? So you don't care about animals or humans?
Well,
yeah, because can I just say because
Please.
like you're trying to slip out of accountability here. It seems like if I were to pay a hitman to take someone's life, would I be held accountable for that?
Overthinking it thôi. It thôi.
YOLO, YOLO.
but what if I'm being persuaded? Uh,
What if I in if I
what?
went to it if I went to a hitman and I said, "Look, I want that person um killed for my pleasure. I'm not even going to give you the reason. I want you to kill that person for me. Am I going to be held accountable for that?"
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna
Yeah. Yeah. So
be
you're
accountable.
being held accountable to your actions. You're either doing it yourself or you're paying for it to happen.
Mm, there are more people involved in in this kind of process, right? Because having meat,
Doesn't matter.
not
Supply and
only
demand. It's a very simple concept.
the
Overthinking it
supplier
thôi.
also
Yeah.
is trying to persuade you buy meat, eat this, eat that. You're gonna get good
It's a
stuff.
very simple concept.
It's part of the
You
capitalist.
you
Well,
buy, they get executed for you.
a part of the reason that people need to consume meat is because of
You're saying need again.
consumerism
It's a
and
choice,
capitalism.
right?
Yeah, and for the
There's no
benefit
necessity.
and for the
And by the
benefit of
way,
oneself.
you're speaking to a nutritionist. His name is Chip, the guy you're talking to. So
But
Yeah.
yeah,
go ahead
yeah,
and
yeah.
tell him. Go ahead and tell Chip what you can't get from a plant-based diet.
Yeah, what am I lacking?
Well, I also heard like consuming meat could increase the likelihood of getting diseases as well, like
Mhm.
maybe diseases relating to like diabetes or heart blood pressures.
So that's another point why you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, but like okay, I don't I don't consider it that much when I just having the simple joy of having meat.
Yeah, YOLO, but if my joy involves violating your rights, do you think I should care about you?
You're talking about like civil rights, that kind of rights?
If my joy violates your right to live, should I care about that?
Well, I just think our ideas just different from each other,
If
and
my if
I just
my
can't give you
joy
a answer.
if my joy violates your rights, should I care about that? That's the question.
Mm, I think you shouldn't.
I shouldn't. So if I
Yeah,
if I if I have joy from graping you, then I should be doing that.
yeah, do it.
So you're for grape, you think grape is moral.
Well, I guess you have a supporter here who's like plotting the.
Bro, why are you biting every ridiculous bullet? Why not just think for a bit? I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why are you biting these stupid bullets and you're putting yourself in this position where you have to justify grape. Like, why not just take a step back, actually think for a second, before you just start justifying horrific things? So I'll take it back and I'll ask you it again. If my joy violates your rights, should I care about you or not?
No, you shouldn't.
I should not care about you or I shouldn't violate your rights.
Yeah, like I think this is a subtle question for a subtle answer,
What do you
and I wouldn't
mean?
give
If
I wouldn't
my
give this answer
joy,
straight.
if my joy violates your rights, should I do what brings me joy or not? Let's make it simple.
Yeah, I just can't answer this question because
You can't
I just
answer
said.
the question if my
Yeah,
joy
I mean,
violates
I mean,
your
like I
rights.
said, I mean, Rome wasn't building in a day. I need to think about it, right?
If I can
I mean,
have the same
it just
joy
sounds like
from
you're
from
trying to
from not
enforce your
violating your
ideas.
rights, if I can
You're
have the
trying to
same
enforce
joy
your
from not
ideas on
violating
me.
your rights,
That's what it
why
sounds
would you
like.
think it's okay for me to violate someone else's rights?
No, because it just sounds like something that you're trying to enforce your ideas onto me,
It sounds like
and I have to.
it sounds like you put yourself in a corner and now you're realizing that you have no escape other than crying out loud that oh somebody's putting me in the corner. But how about you just again take a step back and think. If my joy violates somebody's rights, should I do that or not?
I mean, your thing it just expresses the things in these times in which you're living?
Jesus Christ, bro, is it that difficult
Well,
of a question? If I let
yeah,
me make it
like
simple
I
for you,
don't want
YOLO.
to
If I
answer that
have
question.
joy, let me make it simple for
I
you.
don't want to
If I
go
have
along with you.
joy from graping people, should I do that?
I simply don't want to go along with you.
You don't want to answer these questions because you know you'd be caught in an instant contradiction. Wow,
Yeah,
what a
because
blunder, YOLO. What a big blunder,
I
man.
just think you're
What a
rude.
big
Like,
blunder
you
on your
not only
side. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. So, let's try again, okay? Oh no, he left. Okay.
Wow. That was pretty wild, dude. Like, first of all, he didn't want to accept any accountability, right? Claiming that it wasn't his fault, that animals were being executed. And he dodged pretty much every question that you brought up regarding that part. And then when he knows that he's in a corner, rather than just being like a normal, kind person, he has to bite the bullets just like he did there. That's crazy, man.
It
Imagine
is
being
pretty
that
crazy.
disingenuous. Yeah. Crazy.
Frank, do you want to have a conversation? Well, I guess not.
Oh, Frank's vegan.
Oh, that's cool. Frank's
Nice.
vegan. Oh,
Yeah,
YOLO's
guys,
back.
I see a lot. Yeah,
Wait,
I didn't.
YOLO. I'll see, YOLO. If my joy violates somebody's rights, and I could get joy without violating somebody's rights, should I choose the one that violates somebody's rights?
You're unmuted. YOLO. You're unmuted.
oh, so David, you muted me.
Yeah, I
No, I
muted you.
didn't, but
Yeah, so if my joy violates
Uh,
somebody's rights, should I do the thing that violates somebody's rights even though I could have joy without
why-
violating their rights?
okay, okay, you finished?
What did I just
If
ask?
if you want me to
What did I
give
just
you a
ask?
decent answer,
What did I just ask, YOLO?
wow.
What did I just ask?
Hey, you're pretty arrogant, man.
I'm arrogant for asking you a question and expecting that you listen.
So you're just arrogant.
What do you
Abusing the
take
authority.
arrogant to mean?
You're abusing the authority,
Yeah,
and
what do you
you
take
don't
arrogant to
respect other
what do you
people's
take
opinions.
arrogant to mean, YOLO?
It sounds to me that you're a narcissist.
What do you take a narcissist to be, YOLO?
Or egotist.
Yeah, so it sounds like you don't know what a narcissist is. You're using words that you don't know what meaning they have. And on top of that, you're claiming, boo-hoo, he's abusing his power because he's muting me when I don't listen to him. Oh, but meanwhile, I'm abusing my power over all these innocent animals. I'm cutting their throat, sexually exploiting them, and doing that all for my joy. Is it justified? Well, I refuse to answer that question because if I answered that question, I would have to bite every single bullet about what would be justified to do for joy. Am I right?
Yeah, like Twisted 2EP said, I don't know at this point. Would you take that as a answer? I just don't know.
You don't know if somebody should be violent or not for joy? I mean, that's a weird thing to not know.
Yeah, Yolo, I just feel like you're escaping the conversation. You're
Yeah.
getting mad at Chip for who he is or how he presents a message rather than going at the argument. Why can't you just go at the argument?
Because I haven't prepared enough. Like I haven't studied it, so I don't think I can give a really subtle answer to the
Well,
question.
Yolo, can I ask, would you ever kick a dog or a cat?
Well, brother, the thing is, I need to study the topic in order to have a
Well,
conversation.
let's
And
what sort of study though? Let me ask.
before the
What do you mean?
conversation, I entered in, and you guys agreed with me. I agreed with you, and then suddenly there's a really then there's a a series of questions that just
Yeah.
went
Well,
onto
well,
my
what we're
face.
trying to get at is why do you feel it's necessary to use and exploit animals? And you said something about nutrition. But Yolo, let me ask, if you could get all your nutritional needs met and you knew for certain that you'd be healthy and fine, what would prevent you from wanting animals to be exploited for you?
Uh, okay. Apart from nutrition, it's also quite hard to get, let's say, to get the products that, that fit into the vegan category. Uh, the place where I live. So
So if I was able to like help you figure out how to again get everything that you need within your price range, everything uh, that you required, and you had no concerns, wouldn't that be the more preferable option to not exploit animals?
yeah, that would be more profitable, of course, if we can get all all the factors sorted out. Then yeah, sure, economically or I don't know, personal wise, if we can get everything sorted out, I would choose to be a vegan. But like
So,
also I live with my family and they're not vegan. So if I became a vegan, it would be troublesome for them as well. Because not
Why?
only they have to change their diet, they have to change the way they cook food.
Why would they have to change? It seems like
Because
you are the only one who's like, do you eat exactly the same thing they eat?
yeah, because
So you never eat
obviously,
anything else.
yeah, I cook and then sometimes they cook. So we often, you know, we need to cook together. And then
Okay.
when the when food being put on the table,
Do you cook pork?
yes,
Do you cook dogs?
no,
Okay. So if your family starts cooking dogs, are you gonna be and have the same position where you're like, eh,
obviously,
might as well start eating dogs now?
obviously I would refuse taking dog as sick, so
Wait
I
a
wouldn't do it.
minute. You would refuse eating dogs so you could say no to your family and you wouldn't even care about how they feel or the fact that you would have to cook something else if it were dogs. But if it's another animal, yeah, fuck them. It's okay to kill them, right? Because they're different. They were born different. How dare they be born different?
Yeah, I'm sorry that they were born differently. Like
Holy
You're
shit,
the
you sound like.
I do have a cat.
Wait, that sounds so racist.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
No,
that sounds so
yeah,
racist.
animal wise, yeah. I mean, they were born. They
You're
are.
an
I
animal
mean,
too, bro. You're a
I
human
know I'm an
being.
animal.
Humans are
Yeah,
animals.
survival of the fittest, man. But survival
No,
of the
you,
fittest.
you sound like someone who is okay with racism. And you're trying to justify it. Holy fuck. That's
I
fucked.
I
If
fail
you
to see YOLO like again. If dogs are
They're
brought into
putting words in my
existence
mouth.
in the same way that cows, chickens, and pigs are, they're brought into existence where they're kept on a farm and then they're killed on that farm, all for something you don't need. Why exactly would that be any different?
don't know.
Do you think this is something you should think about, maybe?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think you should think about?
I should think about what and what not, and think about the background of killing animals. What's the consequence? What is the consequences? And maybe just study a bit more on the topic of vegan.
How about you just focus on why would it be okay to cut the throat of a pig but not a dog?
Well, I think also it's to do with like personal experience as well. Like I've been
What?
eating, I've been having pork for like more than 20 years. It's like I don't know. I just take it for granted.
I've been racist for 25 years of my life. I should just continue being racist.
Hey, don't put words in my mouth, man. Like,
No, I'm just saying, I'm putting your logic at the display.
yeah, but racism and having me is different.
I'm not talking about having meat. Killing individuals for pleasure, harming individuals for pleasure is the same. You want to harm individuals for pleasure, just like a racist. Keep in mind, like, what you're doing is separating the victim from an object. You objectify him to such a degree you don't even see a victim. You don't want to see them as victims, just like a racist. Ay.
I don't think this is going anywhere, by the way.
Yeah, YOLO. I put a 3-minute movie challenge in the description. Please go check it out. You'll understand maybe a little bit more context as well. And then come back afterwards because I don't think we're really getting anywhere right now.
Okay.
I've just joined. What was he stuck on?
Thank you,
Speciesism.
Thank you for sharing.
No, he just refuses to answer any question. The
Oh.
minute that he realizes he's in a contradiction, he refuses to answer.
Cognitive disillusion. Well, at least he's conscious. He understands his contradiction. One step.
Hello, Harsh. What's up? You want to mic up, Harsh?
Apparently not.
Apparently not. Well, Chip, I can already see your chat is lit with a bunch of people who have a lot to say, but I don't understand. I put the link in the description for all these people to come in, like this peaceful, always for us, talking about plants feeling pain and stuff. Like, why don't you come up and have a discussion instead of spamming a chat with what we call as like nonsense? Yeah.
They're too afraid.
Also, hit like,
Um,
hit subscribe, support Chip. He's out there on the streets every day dealing with this nonsense. Guys, support Chip. He's an excellent activist.
Okay.
40-year-old, you're not considering something.
Uh-oh.
To have a conversation, it requires a brain, right?
Oh God, Felix,
Oh, shit.
Just-
that's a
I'm
heavy
just
brain.
gonna like.
Are
I'm just
you
gonna let
claiming?
you.
Are you claiming that people in Chip's chat don't have a brain?
They may, but I'm just saying like it requires intelligence to have a like a cognitive ability to have a decent conversation, right?
Oh, right. That sounds better. I actually asked the chat, tell us if you have a brain. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
there's a lot of
Chip,
people.
you should make a poll. Chip, do you have a brain?
Let's see. Are you scared to debate a vegan? Option
Yes.
no, I am vegan. No, I just don't want to. Translation, yes.
Yeah, I think guys, hit 1 in the chat if you're vegan, and 2 if you're someone who's open-minded to change. Let's see. Oh, and 3 if you think we should exploit animals. Always peaceful. He's called carnivore plants. Is this like Paul Saladino or something?
Thank you so much, Sunslug, for the donation. Thank you. Appreciate it. Super chat. Okay, I made a poll. Let's see.
Paul Saladino recently came out to be like relatively plant-based, which is funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he's eating vegetables now, isn't he?
He called this watermelon.
He's feeling better now. He's eating some vegetables.
Yeah.
He started experimenting. I think his word was. He's experimented with vegetables, and he feels good.
I think he was having some really bad heart issues, heart palpitations and stuff like that. The thing is, Paul, like, he called himself Carnivore MD. He wrote a book about it, and I'll bet you there's some people that went after him for claiming that, you know, you could live healthy on a carnivore diet and stuff like that. I'll bet that's why he dropped the MD name. He doesn't promote the book anymore. His buddy Liver King is in jail for going after Joe Rogan. Like, there's all these
Liver King is
circumstances
insane,
following. Yeah. And I bet he ate fruit the entire time. I don't believe he was ever. He's full of shit.
I wouldn't surprise me if Liver King actually didn't, because he does seem like that stupid. He seems pretty stupid.
Yeah, Liver King, yeah. But Paul, I think Paul was eating fruit all the time. I think he was just trying to sell supplements and shit. Now I think he's probably getting sued.
Okay. Hey Bob, how you doing?
Hi.
Are you vegan, Bob?
No, I'm not really a vegan, but I'm just interested in this voice call.
Why aren't you vegan?
Why should I be vegan?
Well, being vegan means respecting the rights of animals. Why should you respect the rights of animals? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Do you want your rights to be respected?
Of course, but why should I respect the rights of animals?
Because you're an animal and you want your rights to be respected, therefore you should respect the rights of others.
But humans are different than bugs, don't they?
Yeah, dogs are different, cows are different, chickens are different. If you compare one species of animals to all the other animals, yes, they're always different.
Yes, so why should I respect the, like, why should the legal framework of animals be compared with the legal frameworks of humans when their intelligence are different and how they think are also different?
Humans have well.
I'm trying to understand. So you're asking, why should you respect the rights of humans? Do you know about that? Why should you respect the rights of humans?
Because humans have better intelligence than animals.
Okay, so
and
if a human being,
they think different.
If a human being
Yeah.
has the same level of intelligence of an animal, then we shouldn't respect their rights?
Well, that's a good question. Well, I think they should have the same rights as
Why?
humans, but for example, like bugs, they shouldn't have the same rights as humans because, yeah,
Why? Why should that human
they.
have the same rights as other humans? He doesn't have the same
Sorry, can
level of
you repeat
intelligence.
that?
Yeah, why should that human have the same rights as other humans since he doesn't have the same level of intelligence? You said that we should give rights based on intelligence. And this human obviously doesn't have enough intelligence, so why should we give him rights?
Yeah, that's yeah, your point is very, yeah, it's very well thought, and I don't really know much about this topic, so
But you made the
yeah,
claim. You don't know about anything about the claim you made? You said we should give rights to humans. You said we should give rights to humans because of intelligence. So then, when a human is not intelligent, by your own logic, then they shouldn't have rights.
that is, yeah,
So maybe we shouldn't give rights based on intelligence then.
yes, we shouldn't based about how we give rights based only on intelligence, but there must be something more different aspects to this than just intelligence.
How about the fact that they experience life? Do you think that matters? The fact that they have emotions and an experience of life. And the fact that they want rights. Does that matter?
For animals or for humans or both of them.
If somebody wants rights, if somebody wants to experience life, should you respect their right to experience life?
How do you know that they want to live? They want to have rights.
I can explain to you that, but I'm asking you, if you know that somebody wants to experience life, should you respect their right to experience life?
I think I should.
Okay. So do you take into consideration that animals are sentient beings?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some
So
of
with
them, not all of them.
Sure, maybe like 99% of them. I don't know if there might be
Chip,
some
sorry,
that are
can I
still
just
animals.
interject?
One second, David. Just
Chip,
let me just
sorry.
finish. 1 second.
No. I just want to tell you that your sound is a bit low on YouTube. Okay.
Okay,
That's all.
I'll increase the volume. Thank you. So yeah, sorry. So let's imagine that. So you said that humans are sentient, animals are sentient. What sentience is means they experience life, and with sentience, what comes is the value of the experienced life. That means that every sentient being wants to experience life. Does that mean that for every sentient being, we ought to respect their want of experience of life?
But we shouldn't consider the sentience of, like, sentience to humans are different than sentience for animals, right? They're not the
No.
same thing.
Well, you're going to have to prove that then. If you're making that claim, you have to prove that sentience for humans is different than
Unless,
sentience for other animals.
Because
unless you're talking about consciousness, sentience is a binary, while consciousness is more like
yes.
flexible.
So like how the brains work in animals are different than how the brains work on humans.
Nope. That's actually factually false.
That is
Human
true.
brains work almost identical to animal brains. They differ very slightly. Go on.
Are you asking about sentience or consciousness? Because those two are completely different things. Bob.
Yeah. So can you tell me how they are different?
Yeah. So sentience is basically having a subjective experience, right? The best way to explain that, it's a conscious brain which has a subjective experience, while consciousness, that can mean like, it's basically consciousness having a different abilities to experience things. Like, for example, some animals cannot see at all, but they can listen. They can still experience subjective life, but it doesn't mean that they have the same abilities when it comes to someone who has eyes. It's just they think differently. because
Okay.
one has to use certain traits that the other one doesn't. So if
Ar-
you have a human who's blind and a human who isn't, they're both conscious, but they'll both experience different. They'll both experience things differently.
Okay. So I think that the consciousness of animals are different than the consciousness of humans because they have different senses, so they cannot think the same way.
So Bob, if we take a human being who has the same level of consciousness as other animals, is it okay to enslave and kill them like we do with other animals?
I don't think that's fair for the animals. No, so I think that those animals should have the rights the same way humans have rights.
So Bob, if I find a human being who has the same level of consciousness as a cow, can I treat that human being as I would a cow?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Yeah.
You said it's based on level of
because-
consciousness. We've just established that it's also not based on that. So intelligence not, consciousness not. What is it that makes it okay to enslave and slaughter other animals?
Well, yeah, I don't think it's okay to enslave the animals then.
So you're against
Yeah.
animal farming already?
Yeah, sure. Yes. I
Okay.
am against it.
Okay, so then you should be vegan.
I will consider it then.
Should you or should you not be vegan?
I think we shouldn't tell everyone to be vegan because they have their own rights. They should choose that themselves.
Contradiction.
Because of
We
their
reached a
religions
contradiction
and-
just now. We reached a contradiction, Bob. Because you said you don't think animals should be enslaved, while at the same time you're saying, I think humans should have the right to enslave animals. So which one is it?
I think they should have the rights to choose it themselves.
So animals should be enslaved, or humans should have the right to enslave animals.
No, I think that personally, animals shouldn't be enslaved.
Okay,
but
then people should be vegan.
other people can choose it themselves if they want to or if they don't
okay,
want to.
should I think this is a better question. Should people have the right to abuse animals?
No, they shouldn't cause harm on animals.
And you know by that factor, there shouldn't be animal farms at all because it is inherent within farms to be exploitative to animals, right?
No, they can also give animals good quality of life. Not all farms are exploiting or cause tremendous harm to animals.
No, all farms are exploiting animals. What do you mean by that? Every single farm treats an animal like an object. That's why it's called a farm, because they farm them.
But farms can also improve the quality of life of animals
no,
than other
they
farms
cannot.
compared to other farms.
Wait, farm can improve the quality of animals as opposed to what?
Compared to like there are certain farms can treat animals better, so that the animals can still live a good life.
Okay, so certain farms can treat the animals better. Yeah, sure. Certain slave owners can treat the slaves better. Does that make slavery okay? No.
Well, we in a way we are all slaves, right?
No, we're
To the
not.
system.
Are you treated like a
We
property,
are.
Bob?
No.
Okay. Do you think animals are treated like property? Do you have a number in your ear right now?
Like, we all have to conform to certain rules in society, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Bob. I'm done with this. I'm going into the next conversation.
Okay.
Hey, Too Nasty, you want to have a conversation?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. So why aren't you vegan?
Okay, so it's a long story, but I'm pretty much open to it. It's not a problem for me. I don't have any, I'm with you on the fact that I put what's right above my pleasure. So if I if it's more right to be vegan, I will be vegan rather than eating meat. But so pretty much the conclusion I have come to is that eating something that is industrial is way worse than eating, for example, natural meat. So what I mean by that is that I would rather eat meat that has developed or has been farmed is a bad word, but has been farmed naturally. So the cow is just living naturally rather than being in a building or being overly exploited, if you know what I mean. Just living naturally, grazing on the land as a wild animal, if you know what I'm saying. And then me eating that harms way less in terms of like harms the atmosphere less, harms the nature less than me eating, for example, an industrial avocado that was farmed with pesticides.
Yeah, so
and
too nasty. Can you? I'm trying to let you speak, but you have to stop at some point. So is there more that you want to add to this point?
No.
Okay, so let's take it one by one. If you could choose, if you could choose between killing an animal or not killing an animal, which one is the better choice?
To not kill an animal, of course.
Okay, so therefore you already disagree with eating meat because meat inherently comes from killing an animal.
Yeah, I agree with that, but also what I'm saying is that also eating a plant is also killing animals in a certain way, you know?
In what way is eating a plant unintentional killing of an animal?
Okay, so for example, when we farm grain, for example, you have to sterilize a big chunk of land where bunnies live and the deer and the eagles and birds and microbes in the soil. You know what I mean?
Can you show me evidence for that claim?
Sorry, which claim?
That you have to sterilize the land and kill eagles, bunnies, and whatever else you said?
You know, like you live in Europe, right?
Yeah.
So every time you fly with an airplane, you can see that
I don't fly.
The different patches. Okay, but you know, like the different patches of farming land, right? Just almost all of Europe, when I fly and I look outside of the window, it's patches of just pure grain. So, for example, there might be 100 hectares.
What do you think we grow grain for? What do you think we grow grain for?
No. I understand a lot of grain goes to feed the cows in the farms, and that's really bad.
Most of it. And most of it goes to feed the cows.
Yeah, I understand. But also, like, a lot of vegan food is being farmed in that way, you know? Like, for example, food...
So if your choice... Okay, so let me clarify to Nasty. If your choice is between killing 3 animals or killing 800 animals and exploiting one, which one is the better choice?
To kill less animals, of course.
Okay, so that means you should be vegan.
No, but okay, so let me explain. I have a farm, right? I have a regenerative farm where I'm looking for a way to be the...
No, you don't. What's a regenerative farm?
Where you try to regenerate a soil to like
describe to me the process of regenerative farming.
Like the way I do it?
Yeah, describe to me the process of regenerative farming. You claimed you have a regenerative farm. Describe to me the process of regenerative farming.
Okay, so when we bought the land, it was overgrazed, and it was like a type of desert kind of land. So there was grass was barely growing, and the land was unable to hold the water really well. So what we did was we planted a lot of almond trees, and at first it was just an almond farm. You know, like our mission was just a farm. Sorry?
Where do you live?
Georgia.
Okay.
In Eastern Europe. So we made an almond farm, and then what happened was that we realized that we can do way more with the land, and we can be more clean and sustainable rather than just having just an almond farm that wasn't really that sustainable. We had to use a lot of pesticides and just sterilize the land and used like just
Could you have all the time just use else? A lot of.
So then we started growing something else. Yes, we started making gardens, and we also tested growing grains and stuff like that. And what happened was that the soil started to regenerate, and we focused more on that in a way that once the almond tree root began to appear in the soil, when it rained, the soil held the water really well. So what happened after was that a lot of good grasses started to grow, and a lot of water started to appear in the land. So then we started filling up ponds. So there's a lot of like ponds that are dried up and salty and stuff. So we add water to that because we had really good irrigation system for the almond farm. So we started.
But it sounds like you're
that's what-
planting. It sounds like the regenerative farm is already from planting only plants. So why would you need to
Yeah.
exploit and slaughter innocent animals?
Yeah, so where we went after that is that so we have this nature where there's a lot of bunnies and microbes are starting to develop in the land. We stopped using pesticides and just we stopped even watering the almond trees. So we wanted the trees to become more natural and wild and develop the roots themselves. Because when you water the almond tree, it's kind of like spoiled. You know, it doesn't need to develop the roots.
I
but
thought you
once
switched from
stop
almond
watering-
trees to something else.
I'm getting to that part. But so then we have this really big nature. But what happened was that
So
now
which
we
one,
have
what are you
way less
farming
almonds.
now? What are you farming now? Almonds or something else?
We farm almonds. We have a greenhouse, big greenhouse.
So you still
where we
farm
do
almonds. So you realize that farming almonds is unproductive and bad for the soil, and still you chose to continue farming almonds. So you don't
No,
really care
well,
about soil health then.
No. But we stopped using all the pesticides. So now the way we farm almonds is
Okay, can you
natural.
tell
but
me? Can
we
you
have
give me
less
some evidence that pesticides harm the soil?
pesticides?
Yeah.
It destroys the grass.
Can you give me evidence that pesticide destroys the grass? Because it doesn't. Pesticide doesn't kill grass.
Then what does it kill?
Pesticide, pests. It's literally in the name, pesticide. You're probably thinking of
I'm using
herbicide.
the wrong. Okay. Yeah, herbicide. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so
just
it's
using
pretty
the wrong
clear
word.
that you don't have. It's pretty clear that you don't have any knowledge in agriculture because you would have used the right term. But the question.
No, I just don't do it in English. It just
Sure.
the
What morally
translation is-
justifies? Sure. So we've already established that you could regrow the soil without exploiting innocent animals. So what justifies exploiting innocent
Yeah,
animals?
but it's not. Because then we started losing money because the almond harvest was like not even half. Like if we have, for example, 300 tons before, now we have 20 tons.
So what morally
we
justifies
just-
exploiting innocent animals?
Because if we don't generate some kind of income to preserve this nature, then there's no other way to, to preserve the nature. So if we don't find a
Excuse
way
me?
to farm something in a way that-
Grazing of livestock has been found to be the most detrimental to the soil health, actually. And I can show you a meta-analysis of that if you want. It's pretty simple. I drop it in the chat right here. I'll drop it also on YouTube. This is a meta-analysis showing that grazing actually is detrimental to soil.
Or like, if it's overgrazing, then it's bad, of course. And
It talks about overgrazing as well as just regular grazing, yeah. It talks about
how
heavy
is regular
grazing and
grazing?
everything, yeah.
How is regular grazing destroying it? Like
It's simple. Look, these findings indicate that globally, compared to ungrazing, heavy grazing significantly increased soil compaction and reduced SOC, NO3, and soil moisture. Moderate grazing significantly increased soil compaction and alkalinity and reduced SOC and TN. Light grazing significantly increased SOC and NH3. Cattle grazing impacts on soil compaction unavailable. Like, you can read through all of this. I don't understand all of it. It talks about natrium, potassium, all of this, and it explains to you how any form of grazing is actually worse than not grazing. So how does that? So we've already debunked this idea that you're doing better for the soil. So how do you morally justify exploiting innocent animals for optional products?
Sorry, what was the question again?
How do you morally justify exploiting innocent animals for optional products?
Because in my situation, which is I know very independent and really like not normal, but in my situation, what I'm saying is that I am creating life for way more animals by why
do you exploit them?
As I say. I call it, I sacrifice rather than exploit. It's not my intention. I just arrived to that just to preserve the nature and take care of way more animals than the ones that I have to
it sounds like you're
sacrifice.
not preserving the nature and you're killing more animals in the process. Okay, let's start. You say, do you have cows that graze?
Because,
do you have cows that graze?
Sorry?
Do you have cows that graze?
Yes.
How much
Yes.
does a cow eat per day?
You mean like dry matter, or what do you
Sure.
mean, like dry matter?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we feed them. So our rations are up to 15 kilograms.
Yeah, well, that's pretty accurate. So it depends, 20, 30 kilograms. I guess 15 kilograms could be achievable for a certain cow. And if a cow eats 15 kilograms a day, where do they provide, how do you provide all that food throughout all year long? In the winter, I'm assuming the grass doesn't grow as easy, does it?
No, we cut the hay. We cut the hay in the summer and then save it up for winter. But in our climate, it's so. For example, this year it was only probably like 30 to 40 days where we couldn't graze in year
Yeah.
long.
So to Nasty, the thing about this, you see, there's so many details in all of this story, and it sounds like you're making up a story to make yourself feel better about it. But the question remains: you could easily thrive without exploiting innocent animals. The question is, why do you choose to exploit innocent animals?
Because I've been having a hard time to thrive without farming.
Like what,
animals
monetary
pretty
wise
much.
or what?
Any kind of wise, yeah, monetary wise in terms to
So
preserve
wait,
the land.
just to be
because we're not
clear, you're
focused on-
saying monetary wise you're having issues, yet you chose to buy a big land where you chose to farm almonds, and then you switched from farming almonds to something else, and you're claiming you don't have money, but somehow you had enough money to buy a big land, farming for almonds,
Yeah.
and farming for animals, which are pretty expensive, very expensive by themselves. So
Yeah,
you're saying
yeah.
I don't have any money, but somehow I have enough money to buy all of this that I want to do. So what justifies
Yeah, but
farming
capital
innocent
exp- I'm
animals for optional products?
I'm talking about operational expense rather than capital expense. So we did have a lot of capital expense, but it doesn't matter if you are making a business that is not profiting. Eventually it will die. So I'm talking about operational expenses, day to day, month to month, year
So
to
it's
year.
justified to kill
going in the
innocent
negative.
animals to make money out of it. That's what you're saying. So money
No,
justifies
no, because in
exploitation.
my opinion, the overall product that I'm making, and I know that might have holes also, but overall, the amount of animals that I am preserving, it is like significantly more to compare that to the animals
Can
that
you
I
show
kill.
me some
So I kill
evidence?
evidence.
Yeah,
I
for
can
that
invite
claim.
you here and I can show you
Okay,
everything.
so you
Yeah,
don't have any evidence for
whatever.
that claim. So let's dismiss that claim
I
then,
can
since you
keep
don't have
sending
any
like
evidence for it.
every day. I can
So
send
tell me,
you
what
videos and
justifies
photos.
exploitation of innocent animals for optional products?
Giving life to more animals, for example.
You're not. We've already dismissed that claim because you can't prove it. So what justifies exploiting innocent
No,
animals for
no, I'm
optional
saying
products?
like, how do you want me to prove it? Okay, I have a farm. I'm here. How do you want me to prove that? I
Okay.
can provide
How do
any
you
kind
count
of
the crop
evidence.
debts? How do you count the crop debts?
Sorry? How do I what?
How do you count the crop debts?
Crop death?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, so you don't know also that. Okay, that's fine. So
No,
it
it's
just
probably
it just sounds like
language
you're
barrier.
inventing everything. That's fine. So just to be clear to
No, I
Nasty,
can
so
prove
what
that
you're
I'm not.
saying is that you had an almond farm, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. You had
Yes.
one almond farm. Okay, and then that almond farm did not work out because you said it hurt the soil. Then you decided to switch to something else that hurts
No.
the
It helped
soil
the
even
soil. It didn't hurt
more,
the soil.
but you didn't really care about the hurting of the soil. Okay, oh, it did not hurt the soil. So why did you switch from almond farm then?
Because it sterilized the nature. There was zero nature there. Soil, like in an almond farm,
Which nature
it doesn't
did it
even matter if you
sterilize?
have soil.
Who sterilized the nature to Nasty?
It sterilized the nature using all the you have to destroy every single living organism there in order
Why
to
do you have to
have an
destroy every
industrial
single
almond farm.
organism? Doesn't sound logical. Why would you have to destroy rabbits, for example?
Rabbits?
Yeah, for almonds.
Because you cannot have nature there because
Why?
it will eat your almonds and
How
there's
would
gonna
the
be a lot
rabbit
of
eat the
pests.
almonds?
No, not the rabbit, but the pest is gonna eat the almond.
Which
The
pest?
pest is gonna give the small pests that are in any nature. It's gonna
Describe to
destroy
me
your
which pest you
yield.
got. It sounds like you already experienced this. So which pest did you get?
No, I didn't get the pests, but it
Oh, okay.
destroys
So you
the
didn't
yield.
kill any pests then. If you didn't
No, I
get
did
any
because I
pests,
used
that means.
pesticides.
Wait, did you or did you not kill pests?
I did kill pests. I didn't
Okay,
have a
which
problem
pests
with
did you
them
kill?
eating my. Okay, so hear me out, okay? It doesn't
Which
matter
pest
those
did you
details
kill?
because, listen, I
Which
can
pest
provide
did you
that
kill?
information. I was not involved in that detail. I'm not
Oh,
a
okay. So you don't know
professional.
which pest did you kill?
I
Okay.
know the overall
So it
picture.
sounds to
I don't
me.
know the
So it
exact
sounds to me
pest
like.
names.
Yeah, sure. So it sounds to me like what happened was you used pesticide to deter any form of pests. You didn't actually
Yeah.
kill any pests since you didn't really name any pests, and you said because there is no nature on this land, somehow I'll stop farming trees and I'll instead put sentient beings on this land and chop their head off. Why? Because
No.
now there's
Okay,
nature on this field. Correct?
No. Yeah, like I wanted to
And
have
then you're
nature
making
rather
the
than
claim,
industrial.
and then you're making the claim that somehow you are now killing less animals than before. which is completely unfounded because, as you just
That's
said,
because
you can't even name a
listen.
single animal that you killed during almond farming.
Okay, so what do you mean by kill? I didn't kill it by my hand, but in those 2,000 hectares lived a lot of. You can imagine how many animals lived there, right?
How many? You had to pick them up, right? You
On
wouldn't just
2,000
let.
hectares?
Too nasty. Wait a minute. Too nasty. Too nasty. Are you saying that
Yeah.
you would let the animals die and just rot there next to the trees?
No, I didn't die. I took away, like we took away the living land, right? You know
Okay,
what I mean?
too nasty. Those animals, did those animals die and did you let their corpse like be there or did you pick up the corpse?
No, it didn't die like right in front of our eyes, but they used to live there, right? So
Oh,
then we
so they
come,
didn't die.
start
Did they die
farming.
or did they die or did they not die?
It's pretty much as killing them because like if you take away the home of like that animal, it cannot like it's pretty much dead, right?
Okay, so it sounds like you're
So
drawing
on
a
Earth, if you
conclusion
have,
without without
for example,
actual basis for it.
no,
So
no,
those animals did
hear
not
me out,
die, but
hear me
rather
out.
they moved somewhere else. Correct? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, probably move, but like that's
Okay.
not how it works. Like if there's, for
Okay.
example,
So
hear
so
me
let's
out, right?
establish
If
in
there's
almond
10,000
farming.
animals,
So in almond farming, when you did almond farming, no animals were killed, but some were moved. Okay. Now tell me
No,
how
not some were moved. A large amount of land was sterilized, and on that land was supposed to be a lot of animals that you prevented from thriving there, right?
so
If you
those
take
did those
2,000
animals were those
hectares,
animals killed?
yeah, probably as good as
Which
killed.
animals then?
They had to migrate. They had to migrate to
Which
a
animals
place
were
maybe
killed
there's
then,
no
too
water.
nasty?
Sorry.
So did they migrate or did they get killed?
In migration, they probably got killed, and a lot
Oh,
of them
okay.
lost
Well,
their
that's a
homes.
supposition
And
that I would
they
expect
went to
you
a
to.
land that was already
Yeah,
occupied, and they
sure.
probably
Well, that's a
and stuff like
supposition
that,
that I
yeah.
expect you to back up with some form of evidence by saying that on that land, because they migrated, they somehow got killed. Because the reason why I want, by the way, too nasty, I don't want to
Just
put you
forget
in this
about the
position,
evidence.
just to be
Just
clear. I don't want to put you in this position, but you made the claim that right now you're killing less animals than you were before. So right now, when we're trying to account about how many animals you were killing before, it seems like you have absolutely no number. So let's start, Too
Yeah,
Nasty.
that's really hard to
Yeah,
calculate.
sure. So
just
Too Nasty,
forget
how
about
many
the number of
animals were you
animals.
killing
Forget
before,
about-
and which
forget
animals
about
were
the
you
number
killing
of animals.
before?
Forget about the animals for a second. What I want to know is that, do you not understand that taking away really large amounts of land and sterilizing it and taking it away from wild nature and wild animals is bad, right? Like in terms of like animal well-being and animal welfare, that's really bad, right? Would you rather like all of Europe be sterilized monoculture, single product making land that is degrading the soil, or have it just be totally wild nature where way more animals will thrive in that nature rather than that just being a grain field? Because in Europe, it's a really big problem, it's everything is being farmed. Every
Okay,
soil is
so
being
Tunesti,
farmed.
you're gonna have to
and it's
stop to
affecting-
allow me to say something. So first of
Yeah.
all, I'll explain to you very simple. It takes between 3 to 10 times more land to produce 1 gram of animal protein versus 1 gram of plant protein.
I agree.
I have
I
data
agree.
for that. Okay, so that means that in order to produce the same amount of protein we would require
Not in my case,
by
though.
consuming animal products, that would mean we would be using a lot more land in the process. So this
Yeah.
scenario that you're
Yeah.
claiming that this whole land would be decimated, what would be if we would be doing animal agriculture? You're right about that.
Industrially, yes, I agree.
No, not in the industrial is actually using less land in the process, by the way. Industrial farming per calorie uses less land.
No. That's a really big misconception because
No, that's not a
in
misconception. That's actually factually true.
It is
But it doesn't matter
misconception
because
that mean-
it doesn't matter to
Yeah,
Nasty
of
because
course,
I'll
if
ask
I
you yet
have one
again. I'm
building-
here to fight for animal
Listen.
rights, and I don't give a shit about this.
Yeah, me
I'll ask
too.
you yet again.
Me
What
too.
morally justifies exploiting innocent animals when there's no need? Are you going to continue sticking by this idea that you kill more animals before, that you used to kill more animals before than you do now? Because if you're going to do that, then we're going to come back to the argument where we're going to have to count how many animals you were killing before. Okay, so what justifies the exploitation of innocent sentient beings for products you don't need?
Preserving and keeping and having and providing really good life with like way more animals. That's it. That's the only way we could find to do that. And like
So
any
what morally
person in the world.
justifies the exploitation of innocent animals for products you don't need?
The fact that you provide a better life and you preserve wild nature, like really
Okay,
big
better life
part
than
of
what?
wild
Too
nature.
nasty. Better life than what? And no, I can show you also evidence that biodiversity is actually higher. Biodiversity loss is higher on animal-based protein diets. But you know, I'm expecting you to tell me a better life than what? You're providing a better life to a cow than.
I'm providing better life to anything that is in my wild nature. By and plus the cows, I'm not even like doing that much slaughtering for meat. Mostly I do milking.
Oh, so
And
you
then,
just
once
forcefully impregnate them and take away their babies, and then you kill their babies if they're
Forcefully?
male. Yeah.
No, I don't do any of
No,
that. Well,
no.
males I use for meat. I do use for meat.
Oh,
but we
okay.
don't
So
want
the
to
males you
implement
kill exactly
discrimination.
as I said. You kill the males for meat. That's exactly what I said. Thank you for proving
Yeah,
my
because
point.
that's the only way I
So
can
why do
keep
you
the
force?
wild
Why do you
nature
think it's
going.
okay? Why do you think it's okay to exploit and slaughter sentient beings for optional products? And let me put it this way, too nasty. So that we
Because
make
we
it
are
very simple
preserving
for
wild
you.
nature.
Let me sure. Shut the fuck up. Let me put it this way for you. So it's very simple. If cows, chickens, and pigs didn't exist, would you adopt the same logic and do the same to cats and dogs?
Wait. Until we go further, why are you insulting me? Like I was being.
Okay. So the question is, if cows, chickens, and pigs didn't exist, would you do the same to cats and dogs?
Bro, like I don't even want to continue conversation.
You can either choose to answer the question, cry about it, or cry about it. I'm sorry, whichever you want. So the question is, if cows and chickens or pigs couldn't be exploited for your pleasure, would you do the same to cats and dogs?
I mean, what I'm doing right now, would I do it to cats and dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't choose a cow because it's a cow. Like it just fits the situation. You know, I can preserve.
So you would do the
big
same
part
to
of
cats and
nature with
dogs?
that animal. No, like if it would help with that thing of preserving the nature, yes.
It doesn't. Okay, can you please
I
provide
would-
some evidence that right now you're preserving nature? As opposed to, instead of farming, simply, for example, soy?
Yeah, like show me any wild nature in soy farming.
Provide me evidence, please.
You do you want pictures or what?
I want data, too nasty. And until you provide the data, I'm going to mute you and move on, okay? So I expect a link, and then we can continue having this conversation. Because it's pretty clear that I've already tried to explain to you that that's not true. I can show you data showing that eutrophication and biodiversity loss is increased when it comes to animal protein versus plant protein. I showed you that it takes between 3 to 10 times more land to produce 1 gram of animal protein versus 1 gram of plant protein. So everything that you're saying right now is based on, well, I feel like it's this way. So I don't really care about your feelings. I care about data. So can you please provide data?
Understood. It's not even like logical. Everything you're providing.
Can you please provide data to Nasty?
What data about my own farm? You want me to upload my Excel to your chat, or what do you want me to do?
If that's needed, yeah, sure. If you have an Excel that shows, so too nasty, just to be clear, if in your Excel it shows, well, we were killing X amount of animals before, and you name exactly which animals you were killing before, and now you're killing X amount of, Y amount of animals, and Y is lower than X, then I'll be, yeah, I'll be satisfied by that.
You're saying that unless I have counted every animal that has died, that it's not logical to say that taking away large chunk of land from wild nature is bad, and it's bad for other animals?
Yeah, so too nasty, just to be clear, because you're strawmanning the position, that the argument that I'm making. No, I am not saying that. I'm saying that you have already taken that chunk of land. We've already established that you've already done that. The question is, when you choose to use that chunk of land by exploiting innocent animals, you are in fact killing more animals in the process. Yes, that is my claim. And I can show you data that, again, substantiates my claim, which applies worldwide, so why wouldn't it apply on your farm?
Because it's a natural farm, not an industrial farm.
Yeah, it applies to natural farms also. They accounted for all that, yeah.
Which one? Which one? The fact that you think that it takes...
So, too nasty, I'll ask yet again. Do you have data for your claim, or do we move on?
Tell me, let's talk about data, like global data, okay? So, do you think that natural grazing destroys more land than industrially feeding a cow?
Yeah.
Okay, so when a cow is grazing on a big chunk of land, limiting
Sir.
it to that you have to farm thousands of hectares to farm grain and then bring it to feed the cow. How is that logical, what you're saying?
I don't know what you said because my Discord dropped off, so if you can repeat it, that would be great.
Okay, so what I want to know is why do you think naturally grazing cows, which are coexisting in the nature, not destroying it,
Yeah.
is destroying more land than me having a industrial farm and having to farm like thousands of hectares of grain and destroying all of that
Yeah.
land like
Yeah.
they do in Europe and many other
Yeah.
countries,
Yeah.
and then bringing that
Yeah.
food and feeding it to
Yeah.
a cow that is chained up in
Yeah.
a building.
Yeah.
How is the natural grazing destroying
Yeah.
more land? That's
Oh,
illogical.
well, I just go by data. I just look at data. I trust the data. I
But that's-
don't go
but
by
the data is
instinct.
so wrong. So you're saying that if cows lived wildly in the nature would destroy itself? The
Yeah,
cows
too
would
nasty.
destroy.
So let me be clear.
there's-
So let me be clear because
there's no way
you're being extremely
cows can
disingenuous. So I'll
coexist in wild
explain it to you.
nature.
I'll explain it to you. So as long as you're trying to no longer be disingenuous, and I'll explain it to you fairly simply. Okay. So we have, as you call it, your form: natural farming, factory farming, and obviously no farming of animals. Okay. So what you're saying is that your method of farming, the normal farming, as you call it, the place where you actually let them roam free, which is what I'm assuming you're doing, is somehow killing less animals and using less land in the process. Correct?
No, it's using more land, but
Oh, so it is
it
using
is not
more land.
destroying that. It is using more land, or maybe same amount of no. Probably it's still using less land, but it's using.
Is
a
it
lot
using
of
less land or more land? Which one is it? You got to make up your mind.
Okay, so I have 300 cows grazing on 1,000 hectares. So probably if I locked them up and used 1,000 hectares to farm grain, I would make way more money. I would be able to keep like twice, 3 times the amount of cows from
There you
1,000
go.
hectares than I.
So
can
we've
right
already
now.
established that
No, I'm
natural
using
farming
less land.
uses more
No,
land
so-
than
No,
factory farm.
what I
Thank you
just
for proving my
explained,
point.
it's-
Exactly.
Well, no. What I just explained is that if I use that land to farm grain and do it industrially, I would be able to have more cows. That's what I said. So I'm using less land, and also that
Jesus
1,000
fucking
hectares
Christ,
is
man,
wild
bro.
nature.
No, you know what? I'm getting at the limit of my patience with you because you're just making
because
claims
you're losing
without
the
with
argument.
absolutely any single form of data behind it. I provided you with data that grazing destroys the land. I provided you with that data. You were provided with data that land usage is far greater when it comes to animal products, animal protein versus plant protein. I will provide with you right now with data showing that eutrophication, biodiversity loss is far greater when it comes to animal products, when it comes to consuming animal products. And so far, all you have is, but you're telling me that this or that. Yeah, too nasty. Maybe you'd better think because your logic is clearly failing. You yourself have said simply, if I put all the cows in one place, in one shed in the interior, yeah, I could farm grain. Yeah, you could. If you put all your cows in one interior, and you would call it factory farming as you would, then you could have a lot more and you could grow on all that land, you could grow grain as you just said. So therefore, we would be using less grain. Well, and you could be making the argument that all that grain that was normally made somewhere else is now made on your farm, therefore less land is used in the process. I don't really care about all this logical thinking because you know what? We have pretty clear data showing all this. Pretty fucking clear data. This isn't data from today or yesterday or new. This is data from tens of years. Tens, like 30 years ago we've already established this. The food chain already establishes this. And you are coming in here with this nonsensical argument and saying, yeah, well, I never counted how many animals died before. What more justifies you killing animals right now? Oh, because I'm doing better by nature. Can you show me some data that you're doing better by nature? Well, it's logical. No, that's it, too nasty. Data or I'm done. So, are you going to provide data or we're done?
Yes, I will. Every day for the next 3 weeks.
Thank you. You said you will. I'm expecting data to put it in the chat. You have link here. You can put the link here in the chat. Thank you. Until then, we'll move on. Blaster, do you want to have a conversation?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, what is your idea for like these? What's gonna, what to happen with all of these animals that we currently have?
Well, we bring these animals into existence, so we would just not bring them into existence if everyone were vegan.
I agree. So their species is just now extinct, or
Maybe, yeah. Well, first of all, I don't think it will be extinct. I think we could still have some in sanctuaries and stuff. But even if they were extinct, why would that be so bad?
Well, because now you are actively
Removing a
annihilating
species that
one
suffers, yeah.
and feeding an entire species.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but
one that every single individual in that species suffers, yeah.
I disagree that every single one suffers. There are definitely farms that don't make these animals suffer.
Oh,
Uh,
which one are those?
I don't have specific things. I'm into that topic for the.
Oh, so then
next
why
Well,
make
episode.
the
yeah, but you're
claim if you
making a
can't prove
claim.
your claim? Yeah,
Yeah.
so why are you making this claim if you can back up your claim with any
But
form of
wait,
evidence?
my expectation of farming is that I expect the animal to get born, live until it's of old age, and then I don't have a problem of eating
Oh,
it.
well, that's not what farming is, no. Well, the reality of farming is that we sexually exploit the animals so that they can make as many animals as we want. The ugly animals we kill straight away and throw them in the trash, or the ones that die off or have some form of malformations, we kill them off straight away and we throw them in the trash. The ones that don't, the ones that actually get to quote unquote live, those are the ones that get to suffer the most because they get to live on a farm, which means if they're on a dairy farm, they get sexually exploited, have their whole family ripped apart from them, parts of their family killed, parts of their family sexually exploited, and they themselves they can no longer be sexually exploited, killed. That's part of a dairy cow, and all of that is happening at a fraction of their lifespan. The dairy cow lives the longest amongst all farmed animals, and they are killed at a quarter of their natural lifespan. Chickens, for example, that we grow for meat, are killed at 2 months in the best case scenario, and they can live up to 10 years. So they're essentially babies.
Yeah, well, my main problem is that I don't feel nice. I don't feel good about exterminating an entire species, several of them.
So that's why you
Just
choose to kill them.
I would prefer if they die in the most humane way, which in Europe at least is that they are stunned,
Sure.
unconscious.
So Blaster
and
3D, I'll tell you like this, Blaster 3D. I'll tell you right like this. First of all, no, the stunning does not render them unconscious. In fact, a lot of the times it does not do that. And second, I'll tell you like this. If you be vegan, I'll promise you those species will not be lost. So if you turning vegan will not mean those species being lost, why wouldn't you want to be vegan?
Okay, but why not vegetarian then? I mean, if these species are gonna exist anyway,
Because you're
why not?
exploiting innocent animals. You're choosing to violate the rights of innocent animals.
Okay, so the chicken is somehow magically gonna stop producing eggs now, or I mean, we're at a state where the chicken is now conditioned to produce eggs daily.
Okay, so Blaster, I guess we have to recap this. So I'll explain it to you. Very simple. So when you buy an egg, you demand the production of eggs, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. If you demand the production of eggs, okay, what do you think happen? What do you think the farmers do?
Well, they're gonna make eggs, obviously.
Exactly. So what farmers do then is they say we have enough. We don't have enough chickens to produce enough eggs that there isn't enough demand. We need more, right? Because you create demand. So what farmers do is they go to a hatchery, where there's a place where they buy the chickens, and they go buy more chickens. But in that hatchery already, the male chicks, the ones that do not produce eggs, get slaughtered up alive on their first day of life. So you're already paying for something that's fucking horrible. And then I thought you cared about their species, by the way. And
I don't
then
care about but again, your argument doesn't make sense for the reason that these chickens are already doing that. So even if we stop sexually abusing them and they stop producing and so on, yeah, but what there is a chicken sanctuary, and that chicken sanctuary now
Yeah.
has 15 quadrillion eggs, and these chickens keep laying these eggs, so we should just throw these eggs away.
yeah, the chickens that lay eggs should not exist. Yes.
You know how much they suffer though, Blaster? Do you think
I'm
they
well aware
just
how much they suffer. My point is that I'm looking for the future.
so
Okay?
so
I want
okay,
future answers and results. I don't want just to exterminate an entire species. I want
okay,
choices.
so wait a second. So wait a second.
No, you don't
So
care
they
about
all
any of
suffer
that shit.
currently, right? Because they're all genetically engineered to grow so fast or produced as much as possible, right? So they are suffering by default. It doesn't matter what you think or your feelings are. That's what happens. Then you talk about this humane way to take their life. But why don't you rather instead of like looking towards this idea that we should continue exploiting them, like why don't you just like not? How about you just stop looking at them as commodities?
I don't look at them as commodities at all. I look at them as sentient beings that deserve a place in this world.
Yeah,
And that
so
they
wouldn't you
treat
want
us.
them to not suffer?
Yeah, I
So
do.
then how can you not want them? So you're breeding someone into existence to automatically suffer from day one.
Again, I want them to breed naturally.
Wait, I
It
have a
doesn't
question.
matter what you want. It's the
I have
fact.
I have a question for Blaster. Just out of curiosity, Blaster. So there's a nuclear war. Let's imagine, hypothetically speaking, there's a nuclear war, and there's only two humans left on this planet, a man and a woman. The woman is very fertile, but she does not want to have sex with that man. Should that man rape her to preserve the species?
No.
No. Okay. So then it seems like rights violations are not justified for the preservation of a species.
So if I have a bull with my cows and they are in the sanctuary and they have babies, then that's okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So.
But how does that justify the Blaster? How does that justify the exploitation? If you want to take care of some animals, how does that justify you exploiting them, using them for milk, using them for their flesh and stuff like that?
That's not at all what I'm talking about. I don't think you're understanding where I'm going with this at all.
Okay.
I'm going towards a world where they live. Okay, that doesn't happen. All of the things that are currently in the works, like the farms, how they operate, how they're all.
So you're talking about without farms?
Do you
I'm
name them?
talking about farms, well, mostly grain farms, I guess, at that point. But these animals are gonna exist, and they're gonna keep producing the things that they are currently producing natural. Yeah?
No. Wait a minute, Blaster. No. Because cows don't naturally produce milk for you. They naturally produce milk for their babies.
Chickens produce eggs all the time. They don't need to be sexually.
No, Blaster. Just to be clear, these chickens, again, the chickens that we grow for eggs, may not survive all this. They may not do it naturally, and it's okay. It's okay, Blaster. It's okay, Blaster, because I can ask you another question. Say a human is born with a genetic disease, and this human being does not want to reproduce. Should we force this human being to reproduce simply because they have a rare genetic disease?
No.
Okay, so it's simple.
Then again, a human can say no. A cow or a chicken can't really say no.
So that means you should force them, right? Like if they can't say no, that means you can assume that they didn't mean no. You can assume anything. If somebody doesn't say no, that means it means yes to you, right?
It just kind of baffles me how you're advocating for human rights and then you're fine with exterminating whole species because you feel bad about how they exist.
Blaster, I can explain to you, very simple. Why should we care about species existence?
Because every single animal has a right to exist. Every species has a right to exist. Like
Blaster. No. Wait a minute, Blaster. I agree with you. Every single animal has the right to exist. But I'm talking about a species. A species is nothing more than a category. So what moral value does a species category hold? What moral value does the species taxonomy hold? The species category. It's nothing more than a category. Imagine it this way. We have a certain number of animals. We can categorize them by skin color. We could categorize them by size. We could categorize them by number of legs. Or we could categorize them by species. We choose to categorize them by species. Now, what value does that species category have?
Whatever it's determined by current societal expectations or standards.
Exactly. Exactly. No value. Correct. Thank you for answering that question. Now, the question remains, what morally justifies you choosing to exploit and slaughter innocent sentient beings for products that you don't need? Because again, we're in agreement. We should just let animals do their own thing. So if we let animals do their own thing, but you don't pay for that. You pay for animals to be sexually exploited, abused, and slaughtered for you. So what morally justifies you demanding the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of sentient beings?
Well, I just prefer for them to exist as a start, to have the ability to exist instead of their entire...
So we should force... So wait a minute. So you're saying that sexual exploitation is justified because it creates sentient beings?
No.
Okay, so then what morally justifies forcing sentient beings into exist? Sorry, what morally justifies exploiting sentient beings for products you don't need?
It's really difficult to discuss something when you don't move an inch at all from the conversation that we're having.
Oh no, I'm trying to stick to the conversation that we're having. Oh no, I'm trying to be conscious about the conversation that you're having. It's difficult to have a conversation when somebody's not moving the goalpost. You're 100% right. It's difficult if you desperately want to move the goalpost, Blaster. But this is what I'm here to speak of. Essentially, you every single day, 3 times per day, you're provided with 2 options. One exploits and slaughters an innocent animal, and the other doesn't. What morally justifies you choosing to exploit the innocent animal?
That is not the point, brother. You're not.
Yeah, that's exactly the point that I'm asking you. So, Blaster, you are faced every 3 times per day. You are faced with the choice between exploiting an innocent animal or not. What morally justifies exploiting an innocent animal?
What morally justifies you taking away their entire existence?
I'm not. I'm actually literally fighting for their own existence. You're the one who's taking their existence away. So, what morally justifies you forcing innocent sentient beings into slaughterhouses for optional products?
What is your outlook for their future? If you want
Blaster.
to change
Wait, Blaster. Can I just ask, what you claim to care about the animals, or you want them to exist? Then why do you drink their milk? What happens to the male calves? They get executed.
Yes,
You
I
can't.
know they get executed if we stop
Yeah.
doing. But
So
my
why
God.
don't
So
you
why
stop
do you
drinking
pay?
their milk?
Yeah, why do you pay for cows to be executed, Blaster?
But you're not addressing the argument that I am giving. What is your future outlook?
Yeah, sure. So, Blaster, your argument, just to be clear that I know what your argument is, because it's extremely basic argument. It's the most easiest deflection out of responsibility that anybody has ever had. It's simple. You're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, Blaster, right? That I'm not misrepresenting your argument. I want to be clear on this one. What you're saying is simple. Well, I want animals to exist. Therefore, I buy animal products because this way animals exist. If I don't buy animal products, these animals won't exist, correct?
Nope, that's a mass
Okay,
misinterpretation.
so why do you buy animal products knowing that you choose to exploit and slaughter sentient beings?
I don't.
You don't buy animal products?
I buy only cheese and eggs.
Are those not animal products?
They are animal products.
So why do you buy animal products knowing that you choose to exploit and slaughter sentient beings?
Okay, let's say I stop buying the animal products, all right? Assume hypothetically I stop buying these animal products, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in 20 years in the future, okay, everybody stops buying these animal products, yeah?
Yeah, that would be amazing, yes.
That would be amazing. Great. So these species that we rely on for meat are now, for a lack of a better word, gone.
No, they're not.
Anymore. Where are they?
Probably in sanctuaries, and some in sanctuaries, some in nature.
Why would we bother doing that when we can just exterminate them like we have for many other such?
Now
Excuse
you
me?
wanna
No, wait a
exterminate-
minute, Blaster. I thought you cared about species. We actually have species conservation places like sanctuaries all over the place. So why wouldn't we keep these species also in a species conservation sanctuary? All of a sudden, you no longer care about their species, and you say, why wouldn't we exterminate them? So
Well, we're gonna have to exterminate vast majority of them in the first place. I mean, I guess
No, we
don't
won't.
need them, right? Because,
No.
well,
No, Blaster.
they're-
I'll explain to you very simple. The
Well,
more
well,
people
me
go
and Al.
vegan, the less animals are brought into existence to be exploited and slaughtered, until we reach a critical mass. And when we reach that critical mass, no more animals are exploited and slaughtered, but some animals remain in existence. So, Blaster, I'll ask you yet again, what morally justifies you choosing to exploit and slaughter innocent sentient beings for optional products?
Yeah, nothing. I just want to
So
essentially.
nothing justifies it. So does that mean that what you're doing is wrong?
Is that you don't have an out?
So, does that mean that what you're doing is wrong when you choose to buy animal products?
You just don't know how to achieve that result, and that's my main problem. You're
Yeah,
pushing
sure.
people-
Yeah, you're right, Blaster. We should achieve that result. We want to conserve the species, therefore it's okay to exploit and slaughter them. You don't know. You're trying to fight for their existence. I want to kill them. I want to conserve them. You're right, Blaster. You're making a lot of sense. So, Blaster, I'll ask you yet again. Is it ever justified to exploit and slaughter a sentient being when there is no necessity behind it?
I just don't know what the point is of answering your question when.
Oh, to take responsibility for the choices that you're making. That's the point.
I am taking responsibility for.
So
the
you are
choices that-
responsible for the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of sentient beings, correct?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I thought you take responsibility. What do you mean you're not? You just said you demand the exploitation of innocent sentient beings.
You're misrepresenting every single sentence, man.
Okay, do you buy cheese?
That we are trying together, okay?
Blaster, do you buy cheese?
Even though I buy eggs...
Blaster, do you buy cheese?
Yeah, I do buy cheese, yeah.
Okay, do you think that behind the production of cheese, animals are exploited?
Yes.
Okay, so then you demand the exploitation of animals, correct?
I demand you to tell me how...
So then you demand the exploitation of animals, correct?
Solve the problem then, mate.
Do you demand the exploitation of animals or not, Blaster?
Give a roadmap.
Blaster, do you demand the exploitation of animals or not? I will give you a roadmap the minute you take responsibility. Do you demand the exploitation of animals or not?
Sure, I'll take the responsibility. Yeah, now give me the roadmap.
So what are you responsible for?
Give me the roadmap. You said you're going to give me a roadmap.
Blaster, I'm going to need you to take responsibility. I understand it's difficult for you because you're probably one of those people who doesn't really know what consent is. So consent needs to be explicitly given. I want you to explicitly show your responsibility in the matter. So please be explicit when you take responsibility.
Okay, I'm not gonna buy eggs or cheese or milk. Okay? Sure.
That's not even what I asked. I asked you to explicitly take responsibility.
Alright, I take responsibility for murdering cows. Yeah?
No, for exploitation of cows.
Same thing, but sure.
It's not the same thing, no. All murder is exploitation, not all exploitation is murder. But that's fine. Again, I don't expect you necessarily to understand that. But I'll give you the roadmap and I'll explain it yet again, Blaster. So, as more and more people go vegan, less animals are brought into existence to be exploited, abused, and slaughtered. At some point, when we reach a critical mass and farming becomes illegal, no more animals are brought into existence to be exploited, abused, and slaughtered. However, some animals still remain into existence, and those animals can live out their life either in the wild, some in the wild, or some in sanctuaries.
That'd be fantastic to happen.
Perfect. So are you going to go vegan?
Global look. That is not going to shit, what's the word? That's not going to make people go vegan.
Sure. So are you going to go vegan, or are you going to continue demanding the exploitation of slaughter of sentient beings?
I don't have a problem going vegan.
So why not go vegan, man? Why do you choose to fight this ridiculous statement that has absolutely no basis in logic?
Because the people from the vegan side don't know how to explain themselves or how to give a reasonable way.
Were you not given a reasonable way moving forward right now?
No.
No? What's unreasonable about my roadmap?
It's not good enough. It's just
Why?
not good enough. Because that's not going to make people become vegan.
Wait a minute. First of all, Blaster, because you see, I understand that, I don't know, maybe the milk has reached your brain, or, you have cheese in your brain or cheese in your nose or mouth or whatever is happening over there. But reality is this. We already established once everyone goes vegan. This isn't a roadmap on how to get everyone to go vegan. You propose the problem being that when everyone is vegan, what's going to happen to these animals? That's where you started this conversation, and that's where we're at, and that's what I presented to you. A roadmap to when everyone is vegan, what's going to happen to these animals. Now you're saying, why is that roadmap not good enough? Because that's not how we get to everyone being vegan. When already the roadmap was presupposing that people go vegan. So, do you want a roadmap on how to get everyone vegan? Because I have no clue on how to do that. But I have absolutely no doubt that you don't either, because you yourself are not choosing to be vegan, even though that would be a far better choice for the animals, the environment, the humans, and everybody else. So, why are you not vegan today?
I don't know. I just changed my choice at some point, like 2 years ago.
How can you advocate for animals if you're not vegan? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I swear to God, man.
Again, I am in the concept that if I can give the cow or a chicken a life without exploiting them, by the way, without forcing them to have sex, or without mass producing that shit or whatever.
But you're not paying for that.
By default, those animals suffer by default.
Wait, David, he's not even paying for that. Blaster, you're not paying for that. You're buying cheese, bro. Cheese requires a fuck ton of milk. How do you think you get
Yeah.
that fuck ton of milk without taking the baby away from the mother?
Mothers get impregnated. They don't want to be pregnant.
Almond milk
The
or whatever.
babies, the baby males and the females get stolen away. The
Okay, let's
hens
say they don't
suffer
get
from.
stolen. I don't want
Do you
to
know? Do you know how much hens suffer for eggs? Do you have any clue? Osteoporosis, iron, calcium leaching. They suffer like bumblefoot. They suffer all these little diseases on their legs. They're deformed. They don't even have a natural lifespan. And you want to eat their eggs? The best thing you can do is feed the eggs back to them, at least to replenish some nutrients. And for the love of God, to try to slow down the egg production. Man, like, it's a supremacist mindset, man.
Okay, so you're telling me that there is no way for that. Okay, that animal always is a victim, essentially, right?
Yeah.
It's
They're
always
suffering just by living, dude.
suffering the sanctuary too, right?
Yes.
Of course they're going to be suffering.
Yeah.
Okay,
But if they,
so
Blaster, but if they want to suffer and they want to reproduce, we let them. We don't force them into existence. Why do you think it's okay to force animals who suffer into existence?
Okay, another hypothetical. I have a sanctuary, okay, and the cows that I have there are living in a
Completely
massive
dodged the
area.
question.
Yeah, because like I'm trying to show you that it's not that black and white.
No,
Like
how
these
would
cows,
it be?
What if the cow has several, calves in the year?
They
start
can't have
growing-
several calves in the year. It takes 9 months for pregnancy. Jesus fucking Christ, you're rejecting biology now?
Well, eventually they'll grow in population, no? Or am I?
Well,
just
you're not
going
going to put the bull with them, right?
Why?
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Why?
Wait, so Blaster, let me just be clear. You're saying, let's finish. So I'm assuming you're going to go to this point of, what if the cows have babies on their own, they drink the milk, and we only take the excess, correct?
I was thinking about the milk, but the meat at the end of their lifespan. But sure, okay.
Well, the meat of the end of their lifespan, would you eat? Why don't we just eat the humans that die then? It seems only logical, right? Why waste their flesh? Why don't we eat the pets that die? It's only logical. Huh? Why don't we eat the dogs that die, Blaster? Are you in favor of eating dogs that were killed or that died?
That's because of societal standards. So basically,
So you would have no problem if society changes the standards to allow for that.
if the animal lived its entire life the way I
Yeah,
live
if your grandmother, when she dies, society allows you to eat her, you would go ahead and eat her, correct?
I wouldn't, but
Why not? That would be a waste. She lived a great life.
that doesn't mean that I have to eat her. Nobody's forcing me to eat her.
No, nobody's forcing you, but you seem to think that it's okay. That it's why aren't you eating her? That's what I'm asking you, actually.
Because I don't want to, but I want to eat the cow.
Why don't you want to eat her?
Because it's the same as me. It looks the same as me. It's the
No. Your grandma looks nothing like you.
No, she does. She does.
Okay. Let's imagine you were adopted. Can an adopted person eat their... Do you think if you were adopted, if your mother was adopted or something, and your grandmother wouldn't look anything like you, would it be okay to eat her after she dies? Would you be in favor of that? Would you do that?
You're taking the word "look" way too literally. Me and
Oh,
you-
okay. Oh, you're right. I'm listening to what you're saying and taking what you're saying literally. You're right. I should realize that you're speaking in metaphors right now.
Speaking in species, bro, it's like me and you look the same. Me and the guy next to me look the same.
No, we
Me
don't.
and my grandmother, me and whoever else's grandmother look the same.
Nope. I'm fairly convinced I probably have more muscles than you.
That doesn't matter that you have more muscles than me. I'm a
That means
human
I don't
and
look
you're
the
a
same as you.
human. We are humans, bro. This is the encompassing factor. That is
How do you know I'm human?
having an effect on.
How do you know I'm human?
You look human.
Oh, but I'm not human.
That is encompassed.
I'm not human.
All right, doesn't matter. You look human. So even if you're
Oh.
not human,
Oh, so we should judge. Okay, so you're right. Morality should be based on how individuals look like. You're right. Oh, what did we call that again? Oh, that's right, racism. You're right, Blaster. That's a good way of setting morality. But Blaster, you see, you've accomplished. You've managed to accomplish one very important thing in this whole conversation, derailing every single question that you had towards something that means absolutely nothing. So I'll ask you one last time and then I'm done. What justifies the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of sentient beings when you can choose not to do that?
What justifies your assumption of their suffering?
Okay, well, Blaster, you were offered the opportunity. I appreciate you coming. I hope you get to change your position and learn more about it. And if not, you're always welcome to come back on this channel and think logically before you speak. Thank you. Sal, do you want to have a conversation?
Sure.
Sure. So let's start with the same thing. You're presented with two options in front of you. One chooses to exploit an innocent animal and the other one doesn't. Which one is the better choice?
I don't know if it's as simple as just those two answers or those two questions.
So I presented you with a hypothetical. My hypothetical is that one. And what problem do you have with my hypothetical?
It's too generalized.
Sure. So I'll make it even more clear. In front of you, there's two burgers. One exploited an innocent animal, the other one didn't. What morally justifies you choosing the one that exploits an innocent animal?
Well, maybe the burger that wasn't genetically modified pea proteins that humans weren't necessarily designed to eat or evolutionarily ate for thousands of years that our gut biome is used to. I would probably go with the exploited cow meat.
Okay, well, you made a lot of ridiculous statements over there, so we'll start with the beginning. But at which point in my hypothetical did I mention any form of genetically modified pea protein?
Well, I mean, or plant protein, whatever type of protein, it's not necessarily designed to be turned into some type of burger and then we digest it.
At which point in my hypothetical did I mention any form of plant protein?
So what would the burger be made out of?
I don't care. Synthetic meat, doesn't matter. They're biologically identical. What morally justifies you choosing to choose the one that exploits the innocent animal?
Well, who says are you, like, you mean exactly the same as if it come from a cow?
Exactly the same as if it came from an innocent cow, yes.
Do we have that current technology now?
That's in my hypothetical, we have the technology to make this, yes.
Then I would choose that, obviously, because then it doesn't, but that's not in the real world.
Okay, so you choose the one that doesn't exploit the innocent animal.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's imagine that
the same, and humans can't distinct it, and we don't suffer any ailments. Sure.
Okay, so now let's imagine that there's a 10% taste difference. Which one is the better choice?
That's a tough one. I mean, I guess a 10%. I mean, obviously, I don't know. That's, I guess your ideal answer would be to just take the loss on the 10% and eat the burger that tastes less like a burger.
I don't kill innocent animals based on my pleasure, but it seems like you are the one, so that's what I'm trying to establish. Does a 10% taste pleasure that you get out of it justify the exploitation and murder of an innocent animal?
I don't know if it's honestly pleasure more than it's just instinctual taste on what it's supposed to taste like.
No, taste is pleasure.
And the comfort of it taste. Not
taste
necessarily.
Is not
taste.
Yes, it is.
Taste
is not a necessity.
Taste is also survival.
No, it's not. You can survive without.
Is it
you
not?
can. You can survive 100% and be healthy without taste. Yeah, you can literally eat all day long without taste.
If you taste something and it tastes rotten or sour, then it could potentially kill you.
So what you're drawing right now is first of all, you're mangling things up because you're saying taste somehow means it helps for survival. No, taste can help you identify whether something is rotten or not, or broken or not. But I don't think taste is that alone. You can also look at it, and by the way, we live in a society where you don't need to worry about that much. So again, in a hypothetical that I drawn to you, there's a 10% taste difference, and you know for a fact that none of them are rotten. So what justifies you choosing the one that exploits and slaughters an innocent animal?
Yeah, I guess you know what, to make you happy, I guess I would go with the 10% less.
No, it's not to make me happy. I want an honest answer. Please do not be the type of person who is this way, because if you're going to be that way, I'm going to start being more mean to you, and I'm going to show you how ridiculous and stupid your arguments are, and I don't think you want that. Right. So please, let's have a decent conversation and answer honestly.
Sure. I would go with the real burger, not the 10% less taste, because that's not what I'm accustomed to.
Okay, but you understand that, like, you're saying that the whole existence, we can take the whole existence away from a being who has emotions, who has feelings, simply because it tastes a little bit different to you to not do that.
So you're saying that you know 100% that they have complete feeling and they suffer.
Yeah, 100%.
And you have scientific data to prove
100%,
that animals suffer.
Yeah.
I would love to read some of that data. Just like to send some over, like if you could send it in the chat, just like some.
If you don't mind, if I can just add that all the animals that humans are eating are genetically engineered to grow as fast as possible. Cows aren't anything like the cows they were in the wild. Sows aren't anything like they were in the wild, nor were chickens. All of them have been selectively bred and genetically engineered to grow as fast as possible. So, like, there's an appeal to nature kind of going on here, but I don't think that's the case. And then also, like, you're going at justifying like a really awful thing, and you're asking if animals feel pain. Like, have you ever stubbed your foot?
But does a mosquito feel pain when you stomp it in the fucking ground?
Yeah.
But have you ever been stomped in the ground? Like,
no, but I mean, but there's animals that are not sentient, like an ant or like any type of insect or anything with a small brain that has.
Like, if a cow was kicked or slapped, you don't think they feel that? You don't think it bothers them?
It could cause a pain response, but who says they respond to pain the same way humans do? If you humanize them too.
Wait, we're not humanizing them. Listen, we're looking at the similarities. We don't have to look at what we're different at. You and I are different, right? That wouldn't justify me doing bad things to you. But we look at similarities. We look at the things that are similar. We don't look at the differences. You know, we can feel pain, we can suffer, we can love, we want to have families. Cows are mammals. Like, they bellow out for their
genetically.
Their
They share a lot of the same. Yeah, they are mammals. I agree.
So that's what I was getting at. But carry on.
Yeah, so I dropped the 3 studies about animal consciousness. There's also the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness, the New York Declaration of Consciousness. There's enough data to show that animals are conscious beings, that they're sentient, that they have emotions, and that they have an experience of life. Yes. Does that mean that you'll choose to no longer force them into slaughterhouses for you?
I think if we find a sustainable way to make something that's designed for us to eat, I'm all on board.
So when you say it's designed for us to eat, every single thing that we make as food is designed for us to eat. And sustainable, you mean like environmentally, or what do you mean sustainable?
It's sure, environmentally, like environmentally sound, yeah.
Yeah, well, we already have all of that. You can adopt a whole foods plant-based diet, and you would be eating naturally, good for the environment, cheaper, healthier, and without any animal exploitation.
I don't know if it would necessarily be cheaper or easier.
I have data. I have studies also for that.
like all these big food places, they make all like these fake meats like products now, and a lot of them have a lot of shit in it that's not good for human consumption.
Well, I have studies showing that those are actually healthier than regular meat.
I would love to see those too. Well,
Perfect. Well, I
were you
dropped it right now
posting?
in the chat.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
all of them are in this chat right here.
Yeah.
Here you go. A randomized crossover
nice.
trial of the effects of plant-based. Wait, just for everyone on YouTube, I'll also drop the link. But in case you are only listening, a randomized crossover trial on the effects of plant-based compared with animal-based meat on trimethylene and oxide and cardiovascular disease risk factors in generally healthy adults. Here you go. I'll also drop it on YouTube. So just to be clear, healthy, when it comes to the environment, it's pretty clear that it's better to be on a plant-based diet. When it comes to health, it's pretty clear that you can be at least just as healthy. My opinion is that you'll most likely be healthier on a plant-based diet, but it obviously depends on what you're going to be eating. So let's just imagine that hypothetically speaking, you can get the same health requirements and environmentally speaking, a lower footprint. Is there any reason why you would ever choose to exploit an innocent animal?
No, yeah, I don't think so. Just because it doesn't make sense at that point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it doesn't. Yeah, I agree. It wouldn't make any sense.
Have you ever heard of Challenge 22, for example?
No, I've never heard that.
So we recommend this website to a lot of people. Challenge 22, what they do is they hook you up with a dietitian. They send you recipes every day, and they make sure that you adopt a plant-based diet within your budget. So if you have any budgetary constraints, within your health recommendations, if you have any recommendations. So they help you out with absolutely everything. There's only one thing that they don't help out with, and that is eating disorders. And that's because you need psychological treatment in that situation. So they don't do that. But outside of that, they help you out with everything and all of it for free.
That's interesting. I'd definitely take a look into that.
Yeah, it takes 22 days. Why not give it a try, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Have you ever seen what animals go through?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen slaughterhouse videos, and it's a pretty cruel process. Yeah. I don't disagree with that, and it is fucked up, but at the same time, I think it's very hard societally for a lot of people to just stop eating meat, and it would take like a huge amount of change, and I think it would be the ease of access for everyone to be able to change that many people. Because I mean, there's 8 billion people, and how many vegans are in the world?
I don't know, maybe like between 1% and 2% of the people are vegan worldwide.
Yeah. But I would argue
like,
most of the animals that are eaten are like 80% of them are under 7 weeks old, 5 to 7 weeks old. So that'd be chickens. Pigs are under 6 months old. And wherever money tends to go, that's where the drive goes. And I feel like we could change actually pretty rapidly, especially with the ever-changing technologies, with fermented products, with lab grown, with vertical farming. All these things are changing pretty rapidly.
Yeah. It's gonna take a miracle to change 99% of the population out of not eating meat.
Well,
Because I think it's so ingrained in our culture and our DNA.
Yeah. I think it's less than that. So like there's going to be probably close to a billion. My guess is like 1.5 billion people would be vegetarian, and a lot of them would actually believe what they're doing is right. It's just the education piece, and then I'm guessing like 150 million vegans. I mean, I could be off on that, but I've seen the change over the last 12 years. I think a lot of people have. Education is key, and if you look at markets for plant-based options, that market, the trend continues to grow year after year, and often they underestimate the guesses on those trends. So I think we're closer than we think. I think it's just we're in this lull right now where a lot of people are finally starting to learn about it, and people actually know somebody who is vegan, and
Before, people didn't know what veganism is. I think now we're moving into should we be vegan, and I think that's really great for change.
Yeah, I know like one or two people that are vegan that I work with.
Yeah, and
Yeah, and
also like
imagine 15, 20 years ago, you probably wouldn't have known anybody.
yeah, also it's very difficult, sometimes to predict these kind of things. Sometimes we look in hindsight. For example, it's kind of a different examples, but culturally, for example, Netherlands in the 70s was a culture of cars. It was full of cars everywhere. Sure, they had some bikes, but it was mostly just cars everywhere. Every single piece you would look in Amsterdam, it was full of cars. And now, like, not even, well, compared to now, right? But like even 20 years afterwards, it was full of bikes. It was one campaign with the children not dying in the street, and the oil crisis in combination just moved the needle into everyone just using bikes. If somebody who was living in that period when they only had cars would have looked, would have listened, would have heard this, they would have said, no, there's no way that's happening. It's very, but now looking in hindsight, we're like, okay, we understand how it happened. So I'm just like, it's difficult to predict how that's going to happen, and we can't say that it's not, or how the world is going to happen. Maybe Joe Rogan is going to go vegan, and that's going to influence everyone. I don't know. Maybe one of the most influential
How long
people
have you
on
guys
earth.
been
Yeah.
vegan for?
I mean, I've been vegan for 5 years.
12 years.
Damn.
12 years, wow.
God damn.
It's a long time.
David.
Yeah, and I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I worked for the Canadian Food Inspection Agency.
I'm sure that had an influence on your decision making.
Yeah, I would say I'm the rarity, but yeah, of course it did for sure.
My grandfather was a butcher, so that was a
oof.
Yeah, he used to tell me stories about like how they would like he saw people mistreat the animals, and he would tell them that that's not right, But it was a slaughterhouse that he did work in, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the slaughterhouse workers have we have so much data, and David can speak more on that also. But the slaughterhouse workers are very much suffering. Like we're activists for the animals, so we speak mostly about the animals. But they need a movement of their own, the slaughterhouse workers, because the working conditions are always prone to dangerous stuff, right? Like they work with knives, they work with heavy equipment that cuts them. They have to work fast because there's just so much demand. And a lot of the times they end up with injuries, mental illnesses. It's PTSD. It's just a horrible place. Yeah, go on, David. Sorry.
Like carpal tunnel surgery is very prominent. Shoulder, wrist issues, eye issues from the line speeds. The lights are so loud. Hearing, because the lines are very loud, so a lot of people have hearing issues. And then they're working like shift work, right? So they often, the place I worked at, the shift started at 4 o'clock in the morning. So you'd have families trying to work out, babysitting or whatever for their kids. They're having to debate whether or not their kid stays with their parents or something, or a babysitter the night before even. And then they get home at noon, be exhausted, and have to stay up till 3 so they could pick up their kids from school. Like, yeah, it's marginalized communities, immigrants, refugees, migrants, and children, even children down to the age of 16 working in the US. And yeah, PTSD, drug, alcohol addiction, increases in violent crime rates, including like sexual assault, all surrounding this whole industry. Like I seen it. I seen a guy. You can't unsee it when someone crushes their hand in machinery, like their whole arm almost basically came off. And so many people had cut themselves. Like you would see it every few months. You'd see somebody running or at a hospital or an ambulance driver coming to the
Yeah, I can
slaughterhouse.
only imagine the injuries. You're dealing with, heavy equipment and tools and
Yeah.
knives and shit.
Oh, and pathogens is the other thing. Most people contract E. coli, Salmonella, Campylobacter, and it's wild because almost the entire process is trying to get rid of those pathogens. Yet 1 in 6 Americans will still contract one of those pathogens
which can reduce someone's lifespan. And yeah, I mean, people can suffer chronically from contracting E. coli or salmonella.
Do you have any studies on like the amount of waste with meat that we have in I don't know, in a specific country or the US or
I don't
because
know
I'm
if
sure
it's been studied specifically plant-based
because I
versus
know food
animal-based.
waste. I was in the restaurant business for like 4 or 5 years, and
Yeah.
the food waste, regardless if it was meat or any type of food, there was severe waste. And I think humans are pretty wasteful creatures. I mean, look at our landfills, for example, how much shit it's filled with.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe Tone, maybe do you have this kind of studies, Tone, about waste? I don't really have a lot of studies on
don't
waste.
think I've ever really come across anything like that. But I mean, we know that around 50% of every animal is waste. It's not fit for human consumption. It goes to rendering and all sorts of other things.
Do we count skin in this one?
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
The problem is, like, obviously waste is a problem, right? Like, I think people have, yeah, but waste is a problem across the board. I don't think waste is a problem primarily on animal protein. I think it's a problem also with plant protein. I think people just in general don't know how to buy food, or especially in the US it's a bigger issue because in US you have the transportation made in a way that you have to go to a store, you have to drive, so you'll be incentivized to buy a lot of food instead of just like, I have a supermarket that's literally 3 minutes away from walking, so I can just walk in and buy something, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
I don't need to keep anything in my house, specifically food. I always kind of have it fresh because of that. So
Yeah.
I think that
I'm pretty
leads to a lot of
fortunate.
waste.
I would say I'm pretty fortunate that I live in the Northeast, and it's a lot less suburban than Middle America. Like I have like everything like a 5 minute, like I can walk like a 10-minute walk from like everything, and that's like pretty rare. But the place I'm from was before cars, so that made a huge difference in the way people travel. But yeah, like Middle America sucks. I hate suburbs. Suburbs are terrible. They ruin everything.
That's pretty cool.
That's a different.
Yeah,
That's a different.
I'm with you, man, on that one. I'm with you. I agree with you. I hate those suburbs also. They're annoying.
Yeah, it's just like you have to drive everywhere. Like everything's like a 20-minute drive. Like nothing's convenient. It's just like designed for cars, and the car manufacturers literally lobbied for, decades. Like, hey, we have to build more roads so they can, purchase more cars.
The thing about it though is that it's interesting because you're right about that, and I actually I look into this a lot because I'm fascinated by urbanism. It's very interesting to me. So, but the thing about it is it's so deadly similar to what's happening with animal agriculture, because animal agriculture is so heavily incentivized, and they put so much money in the pockets of politicians to make laws. Like in the US, they made laws that activists are not allowed to go into farms and film. Not even activists. Like you're in a slaughterhouse and you see something fucked up happening. You work there. You're not allowed to film it and show it to the public. You're not allowed to, because if you do that, you might go to jail. And that's fucking insane. Imagine that, going to jail for showing something extremely fucked up happening at your workplace.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So
yeah, I personally see them as the same industry, like the same type of industry. They're all just monoliths who are becoming older than anything, and it's difficult to move them, but we should still try, and we should still do our best to at least not support them.
Are you from the US? Or you don't sound like it, but
No.
in the US?
No, I lived in the US for like 4 months, 3 months in North Carolina, and a month on the road between California, Nevada, Arizona, and all that area to see the nature. But no, I don't live in the US now.
What country are you from?
Originally Romania, but I live in the Netherlands.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's
How are those countries, those Nordic countries, how do they view veganism versus, I'm sure it's a lot more progressive than the rest of the world.
Yeah, so in Netherlands specifically, I actually was speaking to a lot of people, somebody from the countryside, because when you go to Amsterdam, obviously it's more progressive, right? Amsterdam is a progressive place. But the countryside apparently it's getting more and more progressive. Like most people don't expect, the expectation is not that you eat meat. That's no longer the norm. The norm is somewhere in the middle. You might or you may not. Like nobody really knows now. Like the norm is no longer that you eat meat, let's put it this way. However, the norm is still that you are vegetarian, that you eat cheese, which is just as bad. But it's moving in the right direction, hopefully. It's the vegetarianism is kind of hard for people because it's a big cheese culture, but
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming it would be like kind of like a big meat culture too. Well, like before this whole industry, I'm assuming, because meat is like, it's a colder country, meat is kind of one of those prized, because we hunted for thousands of years and kept, and salted meats and,
yeah, I
because you
don't.
you could be in Alaska and on the North Pole, like near the North Pole, and kill a polar bear, and that'll feed you for, there's no plants that grow there, you know. So I think those colder countries, maybe on the countryside, are a little more biased towards. They're a little harder to turn over,
The thing about it is that we tend to think that we can't grow something, but we can grow something almost everywhere. And if we cannot, we anyway have those products. Like for instance, when I went to Iceland, which is an island in the middle of nowhere in the Arctic Circle, so it is very few things grow there. They had a lot of fruits in almost like I didn't just do the touristy side. I did the whole island. Like it took us like 2 weeks to do the whole island. And we went to these really far out places, and I was vegan when I went there. Well, I was actually plant-based. I wasn't vegan when I went there. And I had no problems finding any food anywhere. Absolutely no problem finding any food anywhere. And I was wondering, like, how do they get these products here if they can't grow them here? And a person at the Airbnb explained to me that, well, some of it they have in glass houses, and some of them they import them, and they have these boats that are on the process of keep going, kind of like how the oil comes from the Middle East. It's just like this train of boats keeps going.
So they export a lot of their.
Yeah, they import a lot of their.
Import.
Yeah. I mean, it's to be expected, right? Like some of these far out places may always be this way. It's not. I don't know. Like.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is though that the more people become vegan, the more people demand plant-based products, the easier it would be also in these situations, right? Because then the more availability of these products is, the more I don't know, already put in place procedures. For example, if there's a village that's in Norway that's very far up north that wants to consume plant-based products, if there's already is some form of trade or some form of I don't know, procedure in place where they import products or where they grow products already, I don't know, 100 kilometers from there, then that means, it's just going to be easy. We're just going to be having to handle how we do it with the last 100 kilometers. So yeah, but I want to come back because we derailed a little bit. And Sal, like you seem like a reasonable guy. Do you think you should be vegan?
Oh, I don't know. I can't answer that. That's a very complex. If it becomes easier and I can, maybe, but I'd be very on the fence. I couldn't lie to you.
But before you'd say if you're going to be vegan or not, the question is, should you be vegan?
Should I morally? Probably yes, but I still hold a love for meat, which is kind of hard to break, to be honest. But
It's not that
how do you
hard.
feel?
Like, why not choose
How
the?
do you?
Yeah, go on. Sorry, ask me. Yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say, like, how do you feel about people who let's say, like, this mass industry of slaughtering animals is terrible.
Yeah.
What do you say to the people that say they grow their own chickens and they eat their eggs and they only eat what they need and they don't use excess and they use every part of the animal and they're very like sustainable. What is your view on that? Do you still view it the same terrible way, or do you give a little more leniency towards those people?
I don't think it's, first of all, I don't think it's sustainable. I think it's considerably less sustainable than adopting a plant-based diet anyway, because you're still going to be taking a lot of land, a lot of food that you're going to have to feeding these animals, and the protein per production ratio will still be, you'll still be getting a lot less protein from a lot more production. So sustainability will still be bad. Will it be better for the animals? I mean, obviously, if you have some animals in your backyard, it's better than keeping them in a factory farm. But if you're going to be treating them like a property and you're going to be killing them and using them and seeing them like resources, I don't think it's that big of a difference. I mean, it's such a small difference. Then it's like, it's kind of like somebody asking you, I don't know, would you rather be killed with this sharp thing or with this less sharp thing? Yeah, I would rather be killed with this sharp thing because at least I die fast. But I still get killed. I'm still in the same position. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I just curious.
But the thing about it is that I like, it's good that you at least know that you should be vegan, because that's, morally speaking, that's the important thing, I guess. I guess you're just like, maybe you're in a position where you have
I
a
mean,
habitual thing.
I'm obviously like a self-aware individual, and I know that I have faults, and I know that I'm human, but sometimes I think that there's something that's like so ingrained, like societally, and something that I've learned that it's very hard to just untrain yourself. Like for me personally, I'm not speaking for like everyone, which I'm sure there's people who don't struggle with being a vegan at all, and there's some people that do, but it's just that I don't know. It's just that societal and what you're used to, that habitual aspect of it, that I think is very hard to just give up. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm aware of that. I'm not being hypocritical about it. Like, yeah.
Maybe try challenge 22, man. Like genuinely as a challenge. It's 22 days. Try it as a challenge and see how you feel. Because if after 22 days you're like, you know what, I kind of actually don't miss anything, then continue doing it. You can see how you feel after 22 days and assess then. But it's worth giving it a try. Why not? Like, what do you have to lose for trying something for 22 days, right? Like, you got nothing left to lose.
Is it like a subscription-based service, or like?
It's free. It's free. I think you do need to subscribe. I think you do need to put your name and your email, and then they'll ask you if you want to be in a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group. But that's it. The reason why they ask you that is because they want to make some groups. They want to put you in a group with some people that are similar to your situation, so that you can talk to some people who have the same situation as you, who are in the same position. Maybe they can give you some insights on some days. Maybe stuff like that. Like you also get to relate to other people.
Sorry, Chip. They'll send you recipes for 22 days.
No, there you
go. You can ask questions in there. They will ask you questions. So if you have any specific protein goals or anything, you can ask about that and say, look, I need 150 grams of protein a day, or I'm struggling to find these items. Can you help me? And they're there for that. And if you do need access to a dietitian, there is one there for free.
So eggs are really that bad for you?
They're bad for the animals.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just reading on the Challenge 22. It says, are eggs harmful to our health? It's interesting.
It's debatable. It's debatable. Depends on how many you eat, I would say. I don't think egg white is harmful. I think egg yolk is harmful. Or can be, but it depends on how much you eat, obviously.
Interesting. Yeah, but I won't lie. It would definitely be a very, very challenging thing for me to do. But I think, if it's free and, why not try it for 22 days?
That's what I'm saying. Huh?
Yeah.
Why not? Maybe you learned something from it, After all, it's how many times you get access to a dietitian to ask questions about your diet and stuff like that, right? You don't get that opportunity often.
Yeah, you don't get those resources that often. That's true. Well, for being free.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's not many free things in this world, I tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you, Sal. We'll move on to the next person since we see there's another person who joined, okay? You can stick around if you want in the chat or whatever, okay? Hey, Cicely, do you want to have a conversation?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So, did you come from the YouTube channel? You did, right?
Yeah, I just scrolled. You were just on my feed. I didn't really hear too much. It just says you're vegan. I don't know what you're either debating the morality of that or how good it is for the body, or I don't know.
So being vegan is a moral position of respecting animals' rights.
Okay, that's what this is about, though. It's not about like how good you can eat and for your body and all that. Okay, I just needed to know.
Well, we have empirical data showing that you can thrive on a plant-based diet. That's enough. I don't want to debate whether it's better or not, although we have data also for that.
Yeah, but we don't have long-term data for that, unfortunately.
Oh, we do. We have over 30 years of data on the EPIC Oxford study and one in the US, the Adventist study. It's done on over 700,000 individuals and over 30 years.
Oh, well, I'd have to trust that. So.
Yeah, well, if you can't trust the data, what else can you trust?
But if my body does the opposite of what that tells me, who am I to believe? Real life or what somebody says outside of my body?
Well, is it possible that you may adopt a plant-based diet in a way that is not optimal for your body?
But there may be a way where I don't, where it is optimal.
There may be a way where you don't, that it is optimal.
Yeah,
I'm not claiming that. Of course,
yeah.
Of course you can be healthy with consuming animal products also. But when you choose to do so, you're choosing to violate the rights of animals. And I would say if you can choose to not violate the rights of animals and still be healthy, why would you ever choose to violate their rights?
I understand where you're coming from completely. I completely understand where you're coming from. But what I'm saying is that if you were to ask yourself, where do these rights come from, that we should all obey them? You know what I'm saying?
Where do these rights come from? They're born with those rights. We're not talking about legal rights. We're talking about moral rights.
Right, but nobody has, like, where are these rights right now where we can go touch them?
Moral rights are not something you can touch. They're concepts.
Okay, so you're saying God exists to give everything a standard outside of themselves for us all to adhere to. That's basically what you're saying, right?
I'm saying that if you're choosing to buy an animal product, you're choosing to violate the rights of an innocent animal. I don't know what it is that you're debating over here.
I'm making this very simple. What I'm saying, so for you right now, you're making a judgment. You're perceiving this judgment and you're making a moral stance.
Which judgment am I making?
Yeah, you're saying that eating animals is not right.
When did I say that?
You just said that. You said, why would somebody do this? As in, you're saying it's a more harmful thing to do to eat meat than not eat meat. Can you agree with me on that?
I didn't say that though, did I? No, I can agree. I had said that if you're not vegan, you're making a choice to violate the rights of animals. That's what I said.
Okay. And what I'm saying is, where did you come up with these rights? Why should we all adhere to them in your opinion on these rights? This is your opinion. Where are they in standard for us all to agree to? Who made these rights other than your opinion?
Do you think I'm talking about moral rights, not legal rights? Do you understand the difference between legal rights and moral rights?
Well, you're telling me we should all adhere to these moral rights. Who made these moral rights for you to claim them?
They were born with them. Nobody made them. Do you have the right to exist?
With them, huh?
Do you have the right to experience existence?
No, I don't have a right to anything.
Oh, so you don't have the right to experience existence. Well, okay. Well, I'll just put it this way. The amount of rights you have to experience existence is the same amount of animals have to experience existence, other animals.
Well, how do you know that?
How do I know that? Well, it's simple, because
Yeah.
you're sentient beings. You are a sentient being, I'm assuming, and they're sentient beings. I know. So there you go.
So
So
you're
with
assuming,
sentience,
no, but
with sentience comes the experience of life and the fact that they value that experience of life. So that means that on account that they're sentient, it means they want their experience of life to continue. So they deserve the right to experience life. Simple as that. The
but you're
same
saying just
reason why
'cause
you
they
deserve it.
you keep saying the word deserved.
Yeah.
Why do you deserve it instead of just?
Yeah. So do you
That
deserve?
implies that
So
you
so
have-
oh Sicily. So that I'm not interested in any of this Phil bro debate. So I'll just make it simple for you. You deserve to experience life as much as any other animal deserves to experience life. Do you disagree with that?
I can agree with it, but it's a presumption you're making.
Okay,
You're saying
perfect.
just
There you go. So you're saying, so then if you agree with me that on the premise that you deserve to experience life as much as any other animal deserves to experience life, then I assume you would agree that it would be wrong if I choose to take your life, correct?
well, and my standard it is, yeah, but not yours.
Okay, so if I choose to take your life, why would that be wrong? Because you deserve to experience life, correct?
No, I believe in God. I believe there's a standard outside of us. So I do believe what you're saying ultimately, but you have no justification for it. Where I believe
Yeah,
that
sure,
God does
sure,
exist.
sure,
to
sure,
make these-
sure, sure, sure,
Well, you're
sure,
saying things
sure,
like-
sure, sure,
brother,
sure, sure. So which God do you
you're not
believe
giving
in? Shall we debunk this already? Which God do you believe in?
No, we don't have to. Let's just debunk God first.
Yeah, sure. Which God do you believe in?
Christian God.
Okay, so the grapest one. Okay, so let's go by this. Okay, so do you think do hyrax chew cud?
I can't. We're not going to go through this. Just one at a
Do
time. Don't
hyrax
run
chew
through me.
cud?
Do what?
Do hyrax chew cud?
I don't know what word you're saying.
Yeah, so in Leviticus 11:5, it mentions that hyrax chew cud.
Okay.
But hyrax do not chew cud. Does that mean that the Leviticus 11:5 was not written by God?
I don't know. I believe it is.
Well, apparently it's not, because an all-knowing God would know that hyrax do not chew cud.
Well, then what Bible are you reading?
Oh, the St. James one? I don't know.
The King James?
King James one, yeah.
Okay, I'll concede to that.
Okay, so then if your moral rules are coming from a book that's written by other humans, then your moral values have the same value. Well, they don't have the same value as mine, because mine is based in logic and critical thinking, not what one book said.
Okay, but you can't justify your logic. You can't justify your logic. You're saying you right now have eyes. You have a mind. You're perceiving the outside world with logic, with rules of logic. We're all doing this right now, but you can't account for it. You just use these tools that are given to you, like logic and all these things, but you have no grounded reality to where these metaphysical tools come from. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
So I'll simplify it for you. I'll simplify it for you, Sicily. Should anybody...
Calm down.
Yeah, Sicily, ought we to respect your experience of life?
No, you have a choice.
So should we respect your experience of life?
I'm not entitled to it. You can make your choice. I'm not entitled to it.
Okay,
no.
Sicily, according to your values, should humans respect the experience of life of other humans?
In my opinion, should they? Yes, because I have a grounded reality to why they should, but
why?
You do not.
Why?
Well, I'm talking from a moral, biblical point of view.
Oh, yes. From a book that was written by other humans.
Okay, everything you're reading is written by other humans. Do you read
but I've never
books?
claimed that it isn't. I never claimed that it isn't. So why would your claim that we have to listen to this book be any different than me having a book that says, well, that's also written by humans? For example, Spider-Man book, where it says, with great power comes great responsibility. Why would I listen to your fiction book when I can listen to this fiction book, which obviously provides with better moral values?
But what are you comparing it to? Where's the standard for your moral values other than your opinion?
Spider-Man book. Spider-Man book provides better moral values than the Bible. With great power comes great responsibility is something from the Spider-Man universe, and it's obviously a better value than a God who is all-powerful and chooses to oppress others, and you claiming that you have the right to oppress others simply because you have power over them.
Dude, I get where you're coming from. You're like talking past me. What I'm saying to you is, why is that wrong, other than your opinion?
Because they deserve to experience life.
Okay, but now you're playing God. Now you're saying you determine all rules and all values.
No, because there is no God.
No, but you're basically making a truth claim. You're saying everything has this right. That's a truth claim. Who are you to make this truth claim on all objective life?
Excuse me, I did not make. I explained to you fairly simple. So objectively, with sentience, let me explain to you. Oh, Cicely, you gotta be quiet. Listen to me. So with sentient life comes the experience of life and the value of experience of life. That's why we ought to respect the value of experience of life, because we want our value, our experience of life to be respected, because we're sentient beings, because with sentience comes our experience of life. So it's only logical.
It doesn't matter. You're just a sack of atoms. Why would any of that matter in your worldview? You're arguing objective truth right now. Do you understand that?
Oh, there is no such thing. Wait, are you talking right now? You're bringing teleology into all of this. We never talked about teleology. What does any of this have to do with teleology? We're talking about morality. So my moral set of values say that it's wrong to exploit innocent sentient beings. Why? Because those sentient beings do not want to be exploited. Your moral set of values say it's wrong to kill humans. Why? Because my book said so. And I said, well, okay, but your book isn't necessarily very good, is it?
Compared to what?
Compared to my moral set of values, which are based on logic and critical thinking.
And then mine too, to see yours is better. You don't have a standard. Do you not understand that?
I just told you it's logic and critical thinking.
Cicely, in your holy book, what does do unto others mean?
In my opinion, and what I believe it means, do unto others.
Yeah.
Well, in the context of it, it would be like do unto others as you want to be treated. So as in, I would treat someone how I would want to be treated.
Oh,
but that's a claim.
Why?
That's what. Yes. That's
why should we treat others how they want to be treated?
I don't have proof for that. I have faith in objective reality, and that's why I believe in God. You're not.
All reality is objective. Objective reality is by definition objective. You have trust in objective reality, so do I. The universe exists. You believe in a God that's objectively not existent because we have no proof of existence of a God.
You can't even prove you're alive outside of yourself. All you have is your mind. So right now, if I said prove your, no, you're not getting the argument, dude. You have to start at base one.
Yeah,
if
sure.
I told you right,
I can point at reality. I'm pointing at reality right now. This is reality.
That's fine. All right.
It's all around me. It objectively exists around me.
Okay. I'm going to show you the error in that. This is where thank you for getting me to this point. This is exactly
you're going to show me that the world around me is not objectively reality simply because by trying some form of idea that how do I know that all of this is not imagined? I don't. But starting on the presupposition that reality exists, then reality is by definition objective. So there you go. It's as simple as that. Do we know if reality exists? No, we don't. But neither do you. So there you go. So that's a presupposition that you yourself also make. So why would we debate the presupposition that both of us are making? Reality exists. Now can we move on from this idea? Reality exists and it objectively exists. So now, can you tell me exactly why is it moral for you to exploit sentient beings for optional products?
No, you're not going to let me say what I had to say, and then I will answer.
I don't really care about this Phil Bro nonsense, man. I really don't. I know it's Phil Bro nonsense. I've listened to so many debates of this bullshit thing. If you want to keep your God, keep it. We've already proven that your book was not written by God. Now, can you please explain to me what morally justifies exploiting innocent animals for optional products? I'm here to speak up for animal rights, and you're here to speak up for a non-existent God. Keep your God and put it up your bum if you want. Now, tell me what morally justifies exploiting innocent animals for optional products according to your values, not according to mine.
We'll prove any of these values matter objectively first, and then we can have
what morally justifies, according to your values, that it's okay to exploit an innocent sentient being for an optional product?
Once again, we're going to get back to the beginning. This is my
opinion. I need to prove
so
your values. Oh, so it's your opinion that it's justified to exploit sentient beings for optional products.
Well, whatever I'm going to say is my opinion right now. I'm not talking with a grain of salt.
Where does your opinion, how is your opinion formulated? Where does your opinion come from?
Like everybody else's, to my conscience and how I form reality.
So your conscience says that it's okay to be violent towards animals, even though there's no necessity for it?
What, to eat them? You think people just walk around torturing animals?
So do you think is your conscience saying that it's okay to be violent towards animals, even though there's no necessity behind it?
Of course course not. No, I don't think most people's are, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. So then why do you choose to be violent towards innocent animals when there's no necessity behind
Why
it?
are you assuming I choose to be violent towards them?
Because you consume animal products, and behind animal products there is inherent violence.
So?
So you're choosing to buy animal products, you're choosing to demand violence of animals.
Well, okay, and every time you eat plants, the plants, they kill many varmints and animals too. Like nothing, something has to die.
So
You
you've already
that?
conceded that you demand violence towards animals, and we're moving on to something else?
No, this is just reality. I don't demand it.
Okay, so you demand. Oh, you don't demand it? Do you not buy in a supply and demand market?
Nope.
You don't buy in a supply and demand market? Oh, where do you get your animal products from?
My farm.
Oh, your farm. Oh, so you farm animals yourself?
Well, a little bit, a little homestead.
Oh, so you exploit and slaughter the animals yourself. You commit the violence yourself. You don't demand it. You do it yourself.
Look how pretentious you are. I'm telling you, I have chickens that lay eggs. I don't kill any animals here. See how pretentious you are?
So you don't consume flesh.
I do eat flesh, but
oh, there you go. Where's the flesh coming from?
Oh, an animal.
Okay, where's that animal coming from?
Oh, guess what? The animal died already. It just died suddenly, and then we ate the body afterwards. Now what?
Oh, so you find dead animals and eat them? Is that where you're consuming the flesh from?
I've done it. So now what?
No, is that where you buy your flesh from? I'm genuinely asking, because I don't think I have a problem if you find a dead animal and you want to eat their flesh. I don't think I have a problem with that.
Well, you don't have a really immoral. You have an opinion. Your opinion means nothing.
Sure,
My
sure.
opinion.
So, oh, Sicily.
Thou shalt not lie, though.
Yeah. So, oh, Sicily.
Lie.
I'm asking you yet again. Where do you consume your flesh from? Do you find dead animals or do you kill them yourself?
I don't kill them. I get them from the store.
Oh, so you do demand the violence of animals. Thank you for proving my point. You do buy from a supply and demand place.
Yeah, but I don't find it wrong. I'm just trying to.
Okay. Okay. So
you.
we've already established that you were lying before. So right now you're saying that you demand the violence of animals, correct?
No, I wasn't lying. I was begging the
question. Are you demanding the violence of animals or not?
Yes. There you go.
Okay.
Because I know where you're getting, and we're just gonna cut through it. Yep.
Okay. So what morally justifies, according to you, to demand violence of animals when there's no necessity behind it?
Well, no, I'm just going to humor you and your logic. If no God exists and there's no ultimate right and wrong, I can do what I feel. It feels good to me, so therefore I do.
Oh, okay. So if rape feels good to you, then it's moral to you?
Humor this. Are you going to come violate my rights because
I violated something else? So if rape feels good to you, then it's moral to you?
Let's just make like a side remark. Like, dude, you just have to calm down a little bit, man. No one is trying to attack you.
Yeah.
Calm a bit down. You're very combative.
There really is no need to be this upset over this.
Yeah, just take a breath.
You're not
just
a victim.
Keep it calm, man. Yeah, nothing happens.
Who said I'm a victim? You're trying to make me one. I'm just saying you're being pretentious.
Why are you why do you get like so revved up, man? Just calm
Sorry,
down.
so laughing. I don't mean to laugh, but it's kind of funny that you're getting so upset, man. Like literally, you said you're demanding violence of animals. According to your own values, what makes it right to demand violence from animals when there's no necessity behind it?
I didn't say there's a right, but what makes it wrong? So I argue the opposite point.
So is it right or is it wrong, according to you, to demand violence of animals when there's no necessity behind it?
I think if you reject you don't have that authority.
According to Sicily, I'm not claiming any form of authority. I'm trying to assess where your values are. So according to your own values, Sicily, if you demand the violence of innocent animals for something you don't need, is that right or is that wrong?
I don't believe animals are innocent. There you go.
Okay, so let me be clear, Sicily. So let me be clear. When I mean innocent, I don't mean innocent in any other word other than they did nothing wrong to you. You're not defending yourself against them. I'm trying to avoid all these other scenarios where people might try to come across. So how is it justified? Is it right or is it wrong, according to your values, to demand violence towards animals that did nothing wrong to you?
Right.
It's right to demand violence from animals. Okay. Okay. Are humans animals?
No.
No, but we are. Yeah, we are. Are humans not mammals?
No, that's your opinion. Well, because we have flesh.
Are humans mammals?
No, I reject the
humans are not mammals?
No. Nope.
So you reject any form of... So do we not feed our babies with milk?
Yeah.
No, so then we're mammals. There we go. So
Okay, does
do
Hitler drink water?
do we have an internal digestive system?
So?
Do we have an internal digestive system?
Yes, but that you're saying because those things and we do this, we're that.
We're
That's,
animals,
I reject
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
No,
we're
it's similarities.
we're a different category. We're a different species of animals. That's what we are. Yes.
A human with their mind made that idea, which is not objective because there's no objective right and wrong or truth because it's all based on your perception. So there's no ultimate right or wrong in your worldview. You keep saying, is this right? Is that wrong? Is this true?
Well, we're not talking
false?
about my worldview. We're talking about yours. We're not talking about my worldviews. You said in your worldview, it is right to be violent towards innocent animals. So what justifies in your worldview being violent towards innocent animals?
No, because you're not coming at intent. You're not
Sure.
coming at intent
So,
at all.
Sicily, let me make it clear for you. If I choose to bring dogs into existence, kill them, and then use their body as a punching bag, it would be moral according to you, right? It is violent. It is done towards animals. And there is no necessity behind it, correct?
Correct.
So it would be right for me to bring dogs into existence, kill them, and then use their body as a punching bag.
It would be nothing. There's no right or wrong. It would just be neutral. That's just what it is.
So it wouldn't be wrong. It would be neither right nor wrong if I choose to bring dogs into existence, kill them, and then use their body as a punching bag.
Does nobody understand here what he's doing? You're making truth claims to people. You're saying
according to your values. According to your values, oh Sicily, I'm asking you. I'm asking questions. I'm not even making claims. So if I bring a dog into existence only to use their body as a punching bag, is that right or is that wrong according to your values?
Wrong.
It's wrong. Okay, well, we reached a little bit of a contradiction there. Because when you said, why is it wrong? Wait, before we go in there. Why is that wrong?
Well, it's wrong based on my faith and what I believe, but I can't object.
Where in the Bible does it say, thou shalt not bring dogs into existence, use them, and kill them, and then use their body as a punching bag?
See, this is what you don't understand. There's virtues in the Bible, and with these virtues, these are things you don't do. So, like,
where does it say in the Bible that it's wrong to do this?
Do you want me to point you to the New Testament?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes,
hold on.
please.
It has to say specifically dogs?
Or other animals. Where does it say that it's wrong to be violent towards animals?
How about life in general? All life.
Okay, sure.
All right. Got you. I got you. Okay, well, let's go to Proverbs, and then I'll take you to a verse in the New Testament.
Right,
okay, so in Proverbs,
just drop the number over here, right, and I'll look it up myself. Just drop the number over here, and I'll look it up myself.
Wait, drop it in the chat. You're saying?
Yeah, please.
Hold on, man. I'm not savvy on this at all. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time even getting back.
Okay, then tell it to me. I can type it out if you say.
Proverbs 12:10.
12:10. Okay, Proverbs 12:10. Yes. The righteous care for the needs of their animals, but the kindest acts of wicked are cruel. That's the one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why does this not apply to you being violent towards animals for your taste pleasure?
Well, no, that's the thing. I believe we are allowed to eat meat, and that is a tough line for me. It really is.
Oh, wait a minute. What's the difference according to your values between me choosing to kill a dog to use their body as a punching bag and you choosing to kill any other animal to use their body for taste pleasure?
Well, because it's telling you to be kind to the animal. Just because you're killing them to eat them doesn't mean you're not kind to them.
How are you kind to the animal when you can eat something else, yet you're choosing to be violent towards them?
I'm sorry, man. You're right. You're right. This is where I have to come down to faith because it is a living thing. And you're right. This is where I have to. This is where I do have faith. 100%. Can't argue.
So how is it right for you to choose to kill an animal when there's no need for it?
I can't say right and wrong. I'm judging based on what you're saying now. What do you feel when you do this, basically, is what you're saying to me. I can feel a certain way and know something's wrong or right. It doesn't change anything.
No,
I can do something I know is wrong.
Can your feelings not be misconstrued?
No, that's what I'm arguing with you. Yes, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like I could be mixed up right now, but still ultimately I could say I believe believe that's the truth, but I feel this towards it. Yes, I can suspend the two. Yes.
Okay,
Which
okay.
makes it
So which one is it? Which one is it, according to you? Because I fail to understand what the difference is between me choosing to bring a dog into existence, use them, and then kill them, to use their body as a punching bag, and you doing the same to a cow to eat their body. What's the difference when both are optional?
Well, this is the reality to it. Like most people that go to a butcher shop or have farmers around, you know, we don't watch exactly what they're doing to the animal to do it. Now, if you were to ask someone that's actually doing this, they might have a different answer for you. But I'm saying when I see it and everyone sees it, we see the meat. We don't attach the animal to it. We try not to, at least.
I get that.
That's just reality. And I think
okay,
also,
but,
I think it's culture.
But you are aware.
Too.
Okay, but you're aware what happens behind it, right? Like if I buy a punching bag made out of literally a dead body's dog written on it, I'm aware that a dog had to be killed to make that. And you're aware that when you buy flesh, you're aware that an animal has to be killed to make that. I don't need to buy that punching bag, and you don't need to buy that flesh. So what's the difference?
But I choose to, and it's not a moral claim whether I choose to or not to, because I'm allowed to eat animals biblically.
Wait. So your moral claim is equal to my moral claim then? Then it should be moral according to your values. It should be moral. According to your moral values, it should be just as moral to buy punching bags made of dog flesh or dog bodies as it is to buy meat to eat them, correct?
Yes. You're arguing the necessity for God, dude. Thank you. This is what I'm trying to get at, because without that, there is no right and wrong.
According to you, O Sicily, I'm going to need you to answer this question. According to your values, again, is there any difference between choosing to buy flesh to put that flesh in your mouth and choosing to buy flesh to punch that flesh, knowing that both are optional?
Wait, why do you keep using the term punch that flesh? Do you mean just them chopping it up and bringing it to the store?
I just mean using it not to eat it, but as a punching bag, as I just told you.
Like literally just punch it?
Yeah.
I mean, you're free to do whatever. Who can tell you you're right or wrong?
So according to you, according to your values, would that be right or would that be wrong? That's what I'm trying to assess. Yes.
To me, that would be wrong. Mine, yes. Mine,
okay.
That would be wrong.
So if I choose to punch the flesh, it's wrong. But if I choose to put it in my mouth, it's right. So what's the difference between these two situations?
Because of the intent of the heart and your conscience. Do you not?
What do you mean?
The intent.
In both situations, and my intent is to work out. I need to work out to be healthy, and I choose to do so by punching flesh. You choose to be healthy by eating flesh, but you could be healthy without eating flesh. I could be healthy and work out without punching flesh. So what's the difference?
I just told you.
No.
Based on my faith and the intent and with the words in the Bible and how a Christian ought to carry themselves. That would be contradictory.
Well, no, your words apply to both situations. And I'll explain it to you this way. So if I put the flesh in my mouth and I spit it out, is that right or is that wrong?
But why did you spit it out? What was the intention?
Because I just wanted to put it in my mouth, feel the taste pleasure, and then spit it out.
That's wrong from my point of view because you're doing it purely just for pleasure. So it's carnal.
Okay.
You're doing it for yes.
Okay. So it can't be just for pleasure. Okay, I got you. So if I do it for exercise, what if I have to exercise my jaw? So I have to masticate on it and then I spit it out because I don't like swallowing it. It's disgusting.
Are you doing it purely for that intent? Well, no. Then you just tried chewing something that was gross and you spit it out. It seems like a pretty natural thing people do.
So that's okay. So then also punching a piece of flesh should be just as moral according to you.
No, because you're intentionally doing it for that purpose, and we all know.
I'm doing it to exercise. I'm doing it to exercise. What do you mean?
Oh, so you're choosing to beat something up to exercise with it. I can't argue. In my worldview, you are wrong. You are.
Why would I be wrong in your worldview? Again, why would that be wrong? But so if my tongue touches it, it's right. But if my fist touches it, it's wrong. Same reasoning. Both have a valid reason. I want to be healthy behind it. That's my intent. I just want to be healthy. Why is one right and one wrong? Yes, I could, and in both situations, I have another alternative to being healthy. So what's the difference?
Well, like I said, your intent. And when I don't mean intent as
my intent is to be healthy.
Let me finish what I mean by intent. You keep interrupting me. I can't get a full thought out. Like what I'm saying is your intent. What are you going to do when you start to do this. So as of right now, you're already presuming, you're right now making an assumption in your mind what you would do.
We're
So
going in circles. We're going
We're
in
not.
circles. I already explained to you that the intent is the same and you can't seem to understand the difference. That's fine. And you gave me a verse Bible that applies to both situations. But you seem to think that no, in your situation, well, if I want to kill the animal and use it for this, then it's okay. If you want to kill the animal and use it for that, then it's wrong. Why? Because I said so. That's essentially your logic, correct?
No.
Oh, well, no, it's exactly it. You have no basis in logic or even religion to justify what you're saying. No basis in anything. At least my basis is in logic and critical thinking. Your basis in absolutely nothing. Why is it wrong, again, to kill the animal and use them one way, but right to kill the animal and use it this other way? Why?
What does kind mean to you?
Why is it wrong to kill? Oh, kind definitely doesn't imply killing them when there's no necessity behind it, FYI. I don't know what kind means, but I can tell you what kind does not mean. And it does not mean unnecessary violence, which you are committing for the animals. So can you please answer my question again? If I choose to use the animal, kill them and use them one way, why would my way be wrong? But you choosing to kill the animal this other way, that would be right.
Because we are told in a to eat animals. If you're doing it,
where does it say that? Where does it say to eat animals?
Okay, I'll show you. Once again, well, you have to go back to the Bible, and thank you for granting me to at least accepting that this is what you believe is true for the sake of the argument.
I don't. I'm just going by your values. So where do you go? Where does it say in the Bible that you should eat animals?
Should or can?
Oh, tell me where it says that you can then, I guess. Is it Leviticus 11:5?
Well, there's a few of them.
Yeah.
How about Genesis 9:3?
Where does Genesis 9:3? Let's go there. Let's see what it says there.
Every living thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I giveth you all things. Now, you're probably going to argue, does that mean human beings as well? But not in the context of the verse. No, it doesn't when you read it.
Wait, why wouldn't that mean dogs also? I'm assuming you're okay with... Oh, so you're okay with killing and eating dogs also, right?
Well, yeah, I am. To eat them, yes.
Oh, so you have no problem with killing and eating dogs. Then why not kill and eat other humans also?
Well, because the Bible separates humans and animals. That's why.
Where does the Bible say thou shalt not kill humans for food? It seems like everything that lives and moves, which are humans, will be food. So there you go. It's food.
I just told you you're going to use that argument like 2 minutes before you even did it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So I am. Yeah, I am using it. You're right. So what's wrong? Why wouldn't we do it for humans?
Because you're taking one verse out. If I take one story out of a poem, people aren't going to understand it. Read the verse.
Oh, okay. Where in the Bible does it say that you should not kill humans for optional food?
It says you shouldn't. It says not to kill humans at all, and it says.
Where does it say that to kill humans?
Okay.
Where
Thou
does it
shalt
say
not
not to
murder?
Oh, where does it say humans? And why does that not apply to other animals? It says thou shalt not murder.
You don't even know. Do you know Hebrew?
Thou shalt not murder. Why would that apply to only humans and not animals?
Because the real word was in Hebrew.
Ratzach.
Ratzach.
It applied to humans specifically.
Yeah, to humans.
No, it didn't apply specifically to humans.
Yes, it does. What are you talking about? The unlawful taking of a human life. Rastash. You don't understand what you're talking about. You don't.
Oh, yeah.
See how you just shut down? You don't know Hebrew. You guys don't understand anything. Okay.
Yeah. So by the way, Sicily, I'm just like you derail this whole conversation into something else, and I'm constantly, I'm constantly trying to no longer allow myself to be derailed. So I'll come back to this argument, right? Like your whole point was that the only reason why it's okay to kill animals for optional food is because the Bible said so. But the Bible says the same thing, you could apply it to humans. Now, your reasoning was, why does it not apply to humans? Well, because the Bible says that thou shalt not kill. Well, it does that also applies to animals. So it seems like both of them apply to both humans and animals, yet in one of them, you're consciously looking for a way out by saying, no, it only applies to humans. So it just seems to me like, could it be, is there a possibility that you're actively engaging in motivated reasoning right now?
Yes.
Okay, well, you are. Thank you for admitting that you are engaging in motivated reasoning. We're trying to be pretty critically thinking over here. We're trying to be logical, and I'm trying to steer away from any form of logical fallacies in that manner. So I'm interested exactly like do you genuinely think that being violent towards an animal is okay as long as you get sustenance, or not even sustenance, as long as you get like if I want to be violent towards an animal to make dessert out of their flesh, do you think that's okay?
I honestly believe it's all in how you execute it. I really do.
So you think violence towards innocent animals is okay, even for dessert?
Stop saying the word innocent.
Yeah. So you think violence towards animals that did nothing wrong to you is okay, even for dessert?
Sure. Do you think violence against animals is okay as well by this logic?
Yeah. Oh, Cicely, I'm not going to continue speaking to you because there's no point. You just go by your book, and by your book we've already proved it wrong. Okay, so let's go by that. Let's try to challenge that a little bit, oh Cicely. So how do we know that your Bible was written by God? Because we've already found an error in your Bible. So how do we know that your Bible was written by God?
Because we have numeral accounts of 40 different men across 3 continents.
Bible.
2,500
Wait a minute, oh Cicely. How do we know that your Bible was written by God? It's pretty clear that I've already proven to you that something that says in the Bible is factually false.
You didn't. Are we still pointing to the killing
Yeah.
thing?
Does the Hyrax chew cud?
I don't know, man.
No, it does not. It does not chew cud. But let me explain it to you very simple. The Hyrax does not chew cud, but the Hyrax does look like it chews cud. So a human being who observes a Hyrax may say that a Hyrax chews cud without actually knowing the internal biological system of the Hyrax. But all-knowing God surely would know the internal biological system of the Hyrax. So since the Hyrax does not chew cud, which biologically we know right now, and humans in that era did not know that, it only seems obvious to me that that particular passage in the Bible was written by humans, so we have no guarantee that any other passage in the Bible was written by anything else other than humans. So I already proved to you that a passage of the Bible is written by humans, therefore I cannot trust any passage of the Bible to be written by any God, since we have absolutely no evidence that any single passage of the Bible could be written by God, since we have no absolutely evidence of a God.
Okay, you're fully entitled to that.
Okay.
I grant that. Now I see why you use the word entitled. Yeah, I see why you use it now. I see what you mean when you say that now.
Okay.
I will grant you that. I would think the same thing. If that one error is there, then how can I trust any of it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, dude, you're arguing with yourself. You act like I haven't thought all these things, like the logic behind it. Yes, it's drove me nuts on the wall, clearly.
Yeah, but I'm not. The thing about it is that I don't even care that much about your religion. I mean, I have my own opinions, and I think religions are fucking stupid. But I try to keep them to myself, and I try to fight for the rights of animals when I speak here. And you're just choosing to bring a compassionate God to justify acts of violence. Like I would say, like that's literally the definition of evil. Because again, in any form, like even if you take the Bible to be true, you will take it in a context, right? You will take it in the context that it exists. Because there are several passages in the Bible that you will not agree to it verbatim. You will just simply say, well, in that context, it kind of makes sense. You kind of take it into context, just like you said before, right? If you take one passage of it, you don't mean all of it. You have to take it into context. So when it comes to eating animals, why don't you take that into context with the fact that maybe in the past we needed to consume animal products, and any form of deity or anybody who said that it's okay to do it did it in the context that there was necessity behind it. But today, when there's no necessity behind it, how can you ever justify committing acts of violence towards beings that your God gave the capability to say, I don't want to die, that your God gave the capability and the will to not want to die? How can you, like, it just seems to me logical that if you believe in a God and you believe that your God made these animals in a way where they don't want to die, that means that if you don't need to kill them, that means you probably shouldn't kill them because you have certainty. You have 100% certainty that your God made these animals, whereas you don't have 100% certainty that the Bible was written by God.
I don't understand the problem here. You're saying what?
Just explain it to
you. Are you finding my logic absurd? Is that what it is?
No, I just explained it to you, and I'll mention one last time, and then we got in because I want to move on.
You don't know to stop. You don't let people. This is a monologue.
Oh, I've been listening to you guys, and I think humans in like the first world countries that have access to plant protein and all of this. But how about all of those societies that don't have access to those things, or societies that live off of the land? Like, what's their are they evil for killing animals?
I don't have a problem if I'm on a deserted island and the only way for me to survive is to kill a human or to kill an animal. Why would anyone condemn me? It's for my
Yeah, but
survival.
you can't deny that there are societies in today's world that solely live off of meat products because there's no other available products.
Well, that's factually
It's
false
like,
because animal
yeah.
Well,
agriculture
I mean,
depends on animal
there's
agriculture
third world
depends on
countries.
no third world countries. In fact, I come from a third world country. I come from Romania. So animal agriculture depends heavily on plant agriculture. If we create a lot, we need to create a lot of plants to feed to those animals. It's not like, and by the way, this is moving the goalpost yet again, and I don't want to I want to keep a pretty straight thing, but I'll just answer it. So animal agriculture, if we can grow plants to feed to the animals, then we can grow plants to feed to ourselves. It's as simple as that. And in fact, in these third world countries that you're so concerned about, Sal, in fact, if you're concerned about the third world countries, you have to learn about the practices such as
Not even not it doesn't
how
it
parts
doesn't
of
even necessarily.
Africa, let me finish, how parts of Africa, which are the poorest parts of Africa, governments are so corrupt, and what they do is they grow plants, and instead of feeding those plants to the people, they instead feed those plants, they put them on a boat and move them all the way across the world in Europe and feed those plants to animals. Those third world countries and then those third world countries, the way they get their food is the plants are fed to the animals. They're put on a boat, they're fed to the animals. The animals are fed in the Netherlands, for example, and then those animals are sent to be slaughtered in another country because we slaughter too many animals in here and we don't have the capacity. So they're sent to that country to be slaughtered, and some of the products remain there and some of them are moved back to the Netherlands. So essentially what you're saying is that we could have easily fed more people. Like, we have data showing that we could feed way more people on a plant-based diet. Way more people on a plant-based diet. Even in those poor countries. I don't think it's justified in any form of way. And by the way, animal agriculture does all sorts of bad things for these marginalized communities that you talk about. Another example is a study came out just 3 years ago. I don't exactly remember the name of the study, but it came out where islands of communities of people who were strictly dependent on fishing, on local fishing, big corporations came in, they started fishing over there, took all the fish populations and didn't even feed people with those, but instead all that fish population that they overfished in that area, so people in that area had to move and they couldn't actually even feed themselves, those fishes were taken and fed to salmon farms. So animal agriculture is bad for every single marginalized communities, humans, animals, and every single portion of our society.
Sure, but you're assuming that all humans are intellectual enough or have enough resources, or to like there's some people maybe who live in the Amazon rainforest who they fish and they live off the land, and these are these sure, like these small groups of like tribes and stuff, but they still live off of the land. Like, it's not, you can't say that every single human on the planet has access, because there's still some remote areas in the world that don't have access to these
I
things.
didn't make
Or
that claim, Sal. I didn't make that claim. I made the claim that if you have the option to not exploit an innocent animal, it's wrong to choose to do so. That's what being vegan means.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So this animal,
and I hear you out on that. Yeah, I definitely hear you out on that. I just think that it's not is like, so how about all of those people that don't have that availability, that don't even worry about like other animals because they have to survive themselves? You know what I mean?
Can I just say, Sal, there's 92 billion land animals bred into existence every single year. The vast majority of people are paying for these products. If we're going to sit here and worry about what happens in these niche, fringe little ideas, we're going to get away from the fact that 99% of the animals are factory farmed in the United States.
Oh yeah, and in the first one, and especially in the U.S., I agree with you. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But I think
So
there are
why
like
don't we talk
culture
about the
tribes.
99%, right?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I
just.
guess.
I don't.
Yeah.
So let me just put it this way, Sal. If I meet a person who's in a situation where they cannot like where they actually cannot be vegan, I won't tell them to I don't tell them to be vegan. I'm not advocating for somebody to get sick or not have the right nutrition or to not enjoy their food or their life. No, none of that is what I'm advocating for. We're advocating for the rights of animals, not in the detriment of rights of humans, to be clear, okay? So I personally believe everyone has equal rights, but I'm not going to advocate for my opinion. I'm advocating for the absolute easiest thing ever. If there's no need to exploit an animal, don't exploit an animal.
But you're an animal, I thought.
Yeah, you shouldn't exploit humans also. What are we talking about?
So telling us how we should treat other animals when he created his own right and wrong. Do you understand what he's saying to you people?
Okay, oh Sicily, we're gonna move on from you, okay? Thank you for stopping by. Let's move on. We've already had a long conversation with you already, and I thought you got the perspective with your God and all that stuff. Just stop using God as a justification to commit violence. I don't think your God would like that. If you actually do believe that your God exists, I don't think your God would like you using his or her or their name or its name to justify violence, okay? So don't use its name to justify violence. Okay, let's move on. I think Lazarus, you were next. You wanted to have a conversation?
Oh yeah, sure.
Are you a God person also? I see in your profile. Are you gonna bring up your God also?
No.
Okay.
Atheist.
Okay.
Just a quote from a person that I think is cool. But I guess I would start it off by saying what qualifies as a being that shouldn't be killed to you?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, what's the bare minimum of a being that is okay to be killed? Because everything we eat is alive in some sense. We derive our fuel off of biomaterial, other than like milk and honey, and you can't live off of milk and honey. So you have to eat life to continue to live. And I was like, what life is okay to eat and what life is not okay to eat? In your eyes.
First of all, I don't think any life is okay to eat. I don't think it. Like, if you ask my opinion, I don't think any life is okay to eat. I think we just should pick the life that is has the least chance of it being sentient, which is plants.
Okay.
But if at some point we can create synthetic food without harming any life, why not?
But what makes, I guess, sentience the most important part of life?
That's not necessarily the most important part of life. It's sentience just means they're an individual. It means they have an experience of life. It means it means they think of themselves as an I, like you do to yourself, right? Bacteria is alive, but bacteria doesn't think or have emotions, whereas sentient beings do.
Okay, I can understand that. I just never saw that as a reason to value or to specialize life in that way.
Well, that's why you shouldn't kill humans.
Well, my reason for that is that most species don't aggress their own. That's just kind of natural.
Oh, that's not true. That's factually false. All species aggress their own. What are you talking about? Have you not been around animals? All animals fight and kill each other a lot.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Sorry, I'll concede that. But, I just feel like there's an evolutionary trait to not wanting to eat people.
No, that's also not true. That's also not true because, in fact, evolutionary speaking, no, because evolution is not doesn't have any teleology, okay? So it doesn't have any purpose or meaning or anything like that, right? Evolution is merely by means of natural selection.
Yeah,
so
by means of but I'm saying...
Yeah, but natural selection happens. Natural selection just happens, like the ones that reproduce are the ones that will spread the genes. That's what evolution is. That's what natural selection is. So if you are in competition for a partner, if you are in competition for a partner or for a mate with somebody else, it prefers that your your chances of reproduction would increase if you would kill the other person. So one could make the argument that in fact killing anybody who is
I was talking more so about eating, because I mean, if one of your friends died and you found him rotting and you ate him and you got sick and died, that probably would wean that off.
Oh, you mean like killing and eating humans? Well, I guess there is maybe. I don't know if there's an evolutionary thing.
Killing, I would say no, because if you kill the animal right there, it's probably not going to be bad to eat. But if you find your buddy and he's dead and you eat him, that might be bad for you. I was just saying that it's very uncommon among humans now. Of course, I would account that to other reasons other than evolution. But yeah, I would just say that there is an integral disgust that you feel inside with eating people that a lot of people will feel. That at least I feel instinctually. It just disgusts me.
Because you've been taught that way, right? Like, I'm assuming you're disgusted also about the idea of eating dogs, right?
Yeah.
It's the same reason. It's because you've been taught that way. There's no actual. Do you think there's any actual difference between a dog and a pig that makes it okay to kill one but not the other?
No. I'm more of an equalist in that they are all willing to eat any biomaterial available. So I don't see why we have special rules as to where we cannot do that. Because if you were in front of any of these animals, you just lie there, they would consume you. So
because you know better, it's not. They don't know any. First of all, they don't know any better, right? Like they're not aware of their choices. They're not aware of the consequences of their choices. Like for instance, if a baby, like animals are much like babies. They're like children. They know some things, but they don't know the complexity of it. So if a child, for example, comes and draws on my wall and just draws something on my wall, I wouldn't smack that child or be like, "What the hell are you doing?" Because the child doesn't know that they're doing something wrong. But if an adult comes and starts drawing on my wall, I will be like, "What the hell are you doing?" You know that that's wrong, right? So I also wouldn't blame a person for consuming animal products if they don't know that what they're doing is wrong. That's why my assessment and everything that I do here, the reason why I have these conversations is live, is so that more and more people are aware of the things that it is that they're doing. And no matter how much they want to deny that what they're doing is wrong, a lot of people are already aware of it. They just choose to neglect it. So when you know that you're doing the wrong thing, you are guilty of doing the wrong thing.
And I think that's a very incredible point. I'm here with an open mind. I understand that we know better and that we have some more obligations that extend beyond because of what we know. But, in a way, I just don't think it's fair that they can just kill us and eat each other, but we can't eat them.
But you can do that. You should choose not to do that, because you should, like, do you think it's unfair that they can rape each other and you can't rape other humans?
No.
Why is that not unfair?
Well, only because I'm not interested in that personally, but also because of the society that we create for each other, is okay. Superior.
But wait a minute, but you acknowledge that some people might be interested in that, right? Like you yourself are not interested in rape, but you acknowledge that some people might be interested in that.
That would be the minority. That would be the minority.
Sure, doesn't matter.
Like saying that.
Doesn't matter, because the whole point is it unfair towards those people that they're not allowed to rape, knowing that animals are allowed to do that?
No, I wouldn't say that. But
why not? Why is it not unfair?
Well, I would say you have a more of an obligation to your own species. That's just me. But beyond that, I would say that when it comes to the animals, I mean, if they're doing it, then I don't see. why
You don't
you
have
wouldn't
any
be able to do it
obligation
yourself.
towards your home species. You don't. For example, if a computer, we get ChatGPT right now or any form of LLM, and we get them to make a extremely well calculation of every single particle on this Earth, and they come up with the, I don't know if you know about the what is it, the Traveler's Guide to the Universe. I forgot the Hitchhiker's Guide to the
No, I haven't heard
Universe.
of it.
So there's a
No, I
book
haven't
called
heard
The
of it.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, and in that there's a computer who is trying to find the answer to everything and the all life and everything. And it's kind of funny because it's like for 42
So
years it's
basically,
computing.
humans are poison idea.
Well, it's for 42 years this computer is computing and it's like thinking and thinking, and when everyone after 42 years not 42 years, for a long time, I forgot, centuries,
42 million years or something.
42 million years, yeah, and the people come back and like, tell us what is the answer, and the computer comes to the answer is 42, and everyone's like, what the fuck, right? That's kind of funny, but my hypothetical wasn't gonna draw that. My hypothetical was like, let's imagine, hypothetically speaking, that this computer calculates that if 5 men rape these 3 women, and it gives explicit details on how to do it, then we could prevent World War IV. It's just a butterfly effect type of situation.
Problem.
Yeah, like it would be better for the population if that happens. Would you then say, okay, well, these 5 men should rape these 3 innocent women?
How many people are going to die? I mean,
I
you
have
got to
no
know what the
clue.
trolley problem, right?
I have no clue. You just prevent World War IV.
Well, I'm going to assume a lot of people die.
No, come on, don't bite that bullet,
And that
man.
basically kind of goes off of your gut intuition, because a part of me wants to say, dude, it's wrong. Kind of, well, a lot of things that you have to do are wrong sometimes.
Well, so listen, the thing about this, the point that I'm trying to make is, well, first of all, there's no degree of certainty that you will ever have. And second, morality, the way you should apply morality is every single act is a moral or immoral act, right? Like, at least that's how I go by it, right? Like if I can't say I'm gonna go around killing this person because at some point in the future, this person might do something wrong. It's factually true that every single person will do something wrong in their life. So does that does not mean that me going around killing some babies will all of a sudden be right, because, well, you know what, when they'll grow up they'll do something wrong, so therefore I'm saving humanity from somebody doing something wrong, right? Like I can't go around doing that. That would still be wrong when I would be doing that. So I forgot even where we were going with this, but what I'm advocating for, it's fairly simple. You have 2 choices. One exploits an animal, one doesn't. Why choose to exploit the animal? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a terrific point. I'll always say I can see it. I can see it.
Man, I appreciate you talking.
You made some very excellent points.
Yeah, I appreciate you talking and all this, but like, keep in mind, man, like it's animals are exploited for you every time you buy these products. Maybe watch the 3-minute video. I think that would actually help for you, kind of get where it is that we're at.
What's my what?
Watch the 3-minute video. I dropped it right here in the chat. I'll also drop it on YouTube. Yeah, give that a watch and see how you feel about that. Because if you don't agree with anything that you see there, well, the resources there also to help you out, but that might mean that you should be vegan,
Well, all right. Good talk.
Thank you, man. Hey, El. Nice to see you here.
Ding dong. Who said that?
I didn't do it.
How did you do that?
Class. Honestly.
Oh, I did it too.
Amazing.
You're a meme. Yeah.
I love that. It was bound to happen at some point.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to once, at least once.
Black Viper, do you want to have a conversation? Black Viper 007. Do you want to have a conversation? No, I guess not. Do any of the vegans want to have a conversation with O Sicily or?
Not really.
No.
Why are they muted?
My book.
Oh, O Sicily is the sophist. Where does your values come from type of situation.
I love a sophist.
You have to take your morals from God.
Yeah. Do you wanna try and speak to O Sicily?
Don't have the patience for a sophist today. That takes a special kind of patience.
Okay, that's better. Okay, yeah. Well, we tried. Sal, do you have more questions? If not, then I'll end it because I'm also kind of done. I think I've been doing this for a while.
No. I was talking in the chat about just that there are also like some plants that use more resources and that are not as that do harm certain parts of the world, and I think that like you have like obviously like animals are like the biggest portion, but there are also other agricultural foods that like almonds, for example, avocados.
They're all better. They're all less bad than animal agriculture.
Yeah, but then once, but
There's
when we
30,000 different edible plants, mate. You don't need to eat almonds and avocados.
I don't personally.
And sugar,
Neither do I.
sugar is also
What sugar
palm
is?
oil.
Sugar is made of multiple things. Sugar can be made out of.
Wait,
cane,
wait.
it could be made-
This is
Palm oil.
this is just
chocolate.
sorry.
Chocolate.
Wait. Before you keep listing
Coffee.
them, like wait. Before you keep listing them, if you're gonna make a claim about them, like, do you have the empirics for that? Because you're just listing a load.
I do like on for example, coffee. It drives deforestation in tropical regions, requires processing and global
Okay, so
shipping,
you've listed.
often grown in
Hang on,
monocultures.
Sal, slow down. If you're going to, like, we can go one by one. If you've got them, can you just show the data before you say anything else?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, people say things, they keep going, and then it's just taken to be true because they didn't provide the evidence. I also don't know how this. Are you not vegan?
No.
Okay, so why are you saying this? Sorry.
No, I was just we were having a debate about sustainability and that like although animal products are like a huge factor, that if even I was gonna say that like if your eventual plan is to get rid of all of animal products, then these other industries would become huge and they would have their own set of huge problems because now we're not cultivating for animals. It's just going to fill the void with all of these other types of plants that will cause massive.
Did you show evidence for that?
I was trying to send you articles based on what these specific crops can do, which are the most popular
Right, hang on.
crops.
Yeah, well, no, so the thing is, of course, if you're making some sort of claim about plant-based diets versus like animal exploitation diets, right? It isn't the case that vegans have to have coffee or have to have something like that. So we're going to like look on it on a basis of like what could we consume that could be sustainable and compare it to the animals, right? So you just bring up coffee or avocados or something. Vegans don't have to consume those anyway. So I don't know why that would be even a thing you'd bring up. And I hope you're not using. Are you using sustainability as an argument as to why you aren't vegan?
No. I'm just no. That's not what I'm doing. I'm
why aren't you vegan?
I think I'm not vegan because of like culturally and how I grew up. I'm not saying that I would be opposed to it, but I think it's it would be like a radical transformation. I'm not judging, and I'm not a perfect human, so I'm not gonna like say.
Just to be clear, I wouldn't. I don't expect any human to be perfect. I don't even know what that means.
I'm not
just,
like.
Yeah. What I'm just saying is like obviously, like you're coming here with this, and there's usually an implication that there's pushback for the reason that people present. So you don't have like an argument, because you said why kind of descriptively you might not be vegan at this moment, but do you have a reason, like an argument against veganism itself that stops you from being vegan?
I would have to think more to come up with a more logical answer to it. I don't want to, say something dumb.
Understandable. It's just obviously you've come into like a vegan space with arguments against veganism, correct? Or what was the motivation, to be clear?
I did, yeah. And I just saw this across my feed, and then we talked about it, and then I said that I could try the challenge 22, and I would. But then I was just listening to the argument, and for argument's sake, I was trying to find a point where you could point out why it wouldn't necessarily not matter, but it would just because you take away one like huge aspect of it doesn't mean like from a sustainability. I guess my aspect was sustainability and like being like environmentally, which I feel like you guys that's like one of your guys like big points.
It's not but
No. Like, has Chip explained to you what veganism is? Because it seems like it's kind of just not really engaging with what veganism is.
Sure. If you would explain it to me, I would love that.
So yeah, it's anti-exploitation. It's just like it might not be sustainable for like a bunch of humans to exist, because humans can be detrimental to their direct environment and the surrounding environment. But that doesn't mean that I would then violate their right, because if for human rights, which I am, I'm not going to then violate their rights because of a sustainability angle. Do you know what I mean? Like that would just be like completely ignoring what human rights are. Like obviously you consider those things like on a side point, because obviously you want to look after a planet that can sustain the life, but like it doesn't override then the sentient humans themselves, which it seems to be like you've come with this sustainability angle as if that's more important than the sentient beings who are being farmed.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting that you don't have like because I appreciate the honesty of like, oh, I don't think I actually have an argument. Like I need to look at the logic before I say something silly. But yeah, I don't know if there could be an argument that's like provided that is not absurd against veganism, because like I'm sure Chip has told you about like the vegan angle of not seeing some sort of morally significant difference between humans and other animals, for example, that would justify farming them.
That thing. I want to address also that thing that Sal said, if it's possible. Like, so even when it comes to the environment and sustainability, veganism tackles certain parts of it, right? Like veganism is not about that. It's obviously about anti-exploitation. As El just explained to you, it's about, I said, animal rights. I try to make it easy in some way, because a lot of people don't understand what exploitation is. But where it applies, the choice is still the more environmentally better choice, right? It's not about that, but it still happens to be. So that means that when you're faced with a choice where you have a vegan product or a regular product, the vegan product will inherently have a better environmental footprint. That doesn't mean that the vegan product itself does not have a footprint on its own, right? Like, if you had the coffee, you do have coffee that's made, I think, with cats eating them and then pooping them out or some shit, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Those, obviously, environmentally speaking, will be monumentally worse than the coffee that does not use animals. So that's the point that we're making, right? Using animals, exploiting animals is wrong. Not for environment, but it just happens that environmentally speaking, it's also better.
Yeah, it's like human rights issues. A lot of them overlap with, environmental things, but that wouldn't be the thing that overrides the rights of the humans. in these like organizations or the advocates, they don't generally take those positions. And it's like, again, in the non-human animal context, that's what we're dealing with.
But I think we have one more person. Friedrich Chicken, do you want to have a conversation? Fried chicken, sorry. I said Friedrich. No, I read Friedrich.
Is it worse if we deep fry Frederick?
Yeah.
Can't see morally significant difference.
No, neither can I. Oh,
Yeah.
there's an edgy one.
Oh shit, I keep unmuting. Okay, they're muted. I don't get it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't get it. Well, you come in here spewing racist things and then you're like, you think you did something?
And they wait to do it as well. They're like, this, you know what, I thought this through and this will be great.
They're sitting there giggling the whole time like a 2-year-old.
I mean, it's a properly funny thing to do, to be like all respectful and wait until you're asked, and then when you're asked to just say that just seems like it's a respectful way to troll somehow, which is somehow funny to me, but it's just stupid. Like, why do that? It's still stupid.
Waste of time.
Yeah. How are you doing, Alexandra?
Down his mum's leg.
Sorry, what'd you say, Tom?
The best part of him dribbled down his mum's leg.
The best part of him tripled down his mom's leg. I'm trying to understand it.
Bruh. On Inception.
Oh my gosh.
Wrecked. 1-0.
All these smart insults. We gotta make them a little bit dumber, man.
You have to kill every ground squirrel, every vole, every shrew, every snake, every turtle, every frog, every bird, every rabbit.
Like that.
Yeah.
We almost had to do that today.
Well, the thing is, too, is people don't argue the point. They argue some, like, random bullshit that has nothing to do with the point you're trying to argue. Which is, like, a terrible time, because you can't really argue with someone who's stupid.
That's true. That's true. That's true. A lot of the times but a lot of the times the reason why this happens is because people get, like, they mangle aspects, right? Like, there's a lot of people who think veganism is related to the environment because there were environmental claims made about veganism. So that's why it's important to stick to the question and stick to the narrative point so that people understand the point that we're trying to make.
Yeah, and I think the problem is because we have been raised to really not consider animals for who they are. The things like food, health, environment, they feel more important to us to talk about than the experience of the animal. Like, I don't know if, like, the non-vegans who, you know, come in have even, like, seen an animal in a farm or seen them at a slaughterhouse. And if they have, a lot of the time they've literally had to just completely disconnect from them. Like, obviously, like 40-year-old vegans here, like, literally inspected and watched that and had to detach. So just becomes a conversation about anything else.
Yeah, I keep saying every single time, the biggest win that animal agriculture has is this fucking disconnect from what's happening to animals. Because if when you went to the store, you had to see the animal being killed, I think you'd buy way less animal products.
Oh yeah, like I think even in the human context, when people kill humans, like, they are disconnected from those as individuals. If you are that connected to an individual and value their experience, that's just not going to happen. Like,
Yeah. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna end the stream. I'll be back, okay?
Cool.
Okay, everyone. I gotta also use the bathroom, sorry. That's why I'm making these noises. I'm kind of dancing around over here. I forgot to say thank you to everyone who donated. Thank you, Swamp Slug. Eat plants, not brains. 100%. Appreciate the super chat. Jesus Christ was a vegan, says Legend El Zoro. Thank you so much, Legend El Zoro. Yes, indeed. If there ever was a magical Jesus Christ, he probably was vegan. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. He loves wild animals, creates a natural park. Yeah, that guy who said he cares about the species, and that's why it's okay to exploit the animals. Kind of weird, huh? Bubbles, you lost one of your kitties. I don't understand that one, but thank you, King of Monsters. Swamp Slug again. Bring back woolly mammoth jacket. Imagine, we're trying to bring back. Didn't they try to bring back the combination between a woolly mammoth and a mouse? And if I'm not mistaken, like I don't know about the morality of that. It's kind of immoral, if you ask me. It's kind of immoral. Yeah, you can scream subjective morals all you want. Your logic can still be contradictory. That's called logic and reason, says the vegan enemy, or Rene. Rene, you're 100% right about that, and thank you for the super chat. You're right. It's true. That's what I was going for. Your logic, even according to your values, your logic may still be flawed. And I think we show that, but the person wasn't being particularly genuine. The user Mac9189, plant live, they feel, they communicate, hypocrite. I don't know if plants live, feel, and communicate, hypocrite. We know they live, they don't feel, but if you believe that, then you should still be vegan because you kill less plants in the process. So that's it. I want to highlight messages, but my highlighter thing is kind of broken right now. I need to check out what's happening. Logic doesn't apply to morals, says one person. Yeah, of course it does. What do you mean? You apply, you take one moral value and then you apply logic consistently to it, right? You can't, otherwise you would have to write every single moral value in, like you would have to write so much. Logic is just logical deductions starting on a basis, right? And morality on some moral set of values, for example. You love chip debate style. Thank you, Brett, I guess. I tried to be more calm. I was kind of a dick. I was kind of laughing when that guy was getting so upset, which was kind of funny for me. I'm sorry for being that. It's not nice when people laugh. I didn't want to be a dick. I really don't want to do that. Well, thank you for being here, Brett. I appreciate that you're enjoying this. Yeah. We all need to eat. We all need to consume. As of now, we don't really have a way to control it. As well, we would like to, so there isn't so much suffering for nature or animals. The fact is we have to. Oh, you have to use punctuation, man. It's very difficult to understand what you're saying with that. No, we don't have to consume animal products. Pure logic says fuck your morals. Sure, but pure logic proves that your morals means that you probably shouldn't exploit or slaughter sentient beings. So why complain? We're making a bigger problem. Eat good stuff, move forward, and don't bother people. This isn't about food, by the way. This is about rejecting animal exploitation. I think that was pretty clear. In fact, the biggest message on the screen was vegan equals animals' rights. So that you understand that this is about animal rights, not anything else. I don't know how, even after all that, after seeing that it's about animal rights, you still did not get that. But that's fine. I want to give a shout out to Savvy Coops for being the first person to comment on the previous stream. In case you don't know, we give a shout out to the first person to comment on the last stream. But because today I forgot to put a number in that chat, I don't really remember who was the first person to comment on this live stream, and I don't think I can find out right now. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to Sabby Coops, Draculum, Lewis, Martin for being the first people to comment on the streams. Thank you. Yeah, Savvy, you were the first, huh? This time you won by a second. That was impressive, huh? Okay, let me read through some of these comments and then I'll leave. You happy use human exploitation though? No, I don't happy use human exploitation. If you provide me with the option without using human exploitation, I'll gladly do that. This has been a pretty shitty week for me, by the way, everyone. For example, every single thing, well, not every, almost every single thing has broken down. Like, I kid you not, it's been a fucking week, man. Everything has broken down. It's been insane. And I just fixed it. It's not perfect, but it works. My tripod broke. It's not perfect, but now it works. What else? My air fryer broke. It's not perfect, but now it works. Oh, there's one more thing what broke today? I think something broke today. I forgot what broke today. Oh yeah, every single day I take my blood pressure since I had some issues with blood pressure and I have high blood pressure in my family. That shit also broke. I had to reset it. It's insane. Every single thing broke this week. It's insane. So you see, I try to reuse, right? Isn't that what this is about when it comes to human exploitation? And again, if you're giving me with the option to not exploit humans, I would choose to not exploit humans. But even if I didn't do that, let's imagine that I didn't do that. It wouldn't mean you should exploit animals. It doesn't. How would that imply that you should exploit animals? No more black bean brownies for Chip. Soy Daddy, Mr. Tone. I actually did make those today. They were really nice. Your tripod was made by slave labor in China. No, my tripod was made in Germany. I actually can buy parts in Germany. It's not made by anybody. So was your air fryer. My air fryer, I bought it firsthand. When I first time bought it, I bought it secondhand. And I fixed it. So I'm not a hypocrite, exactly it. I'm not a hypocrite, but I appreciate it. But even if I were a hypocrite, it wouldn't make the vegan argument any less valuable. As long as you are not broken. Yeah, in fact, I actually, after testing my my blood pressure and going for my weight every day, I'm actually better than ever health-wise. I'm a bit tired because I've been staying up late recently, you know. As one does. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, but that's it. That's all it is, you know. And I want to say thank you for everyone for being here. I appreciate you. And you know, even all you non-vegans and trolls that you come in here and you keep spewing nonsense. I hope you do better, because the reason, and I hope you, if you're so courageous into saying shit in the chat, I hope you actually come and have conversations with me, because that's why I did this. Well, that, and because I thought it was gonna rain, and I've been bamboozled. There's been no rain. Isn't that how it always goes? Yeah. I seriously don't give a fuck about what you say. That's okay. Maybe choose to no longer be violent towards animals. That's all we're saying. And you don't have to care about what we're saying, you know, just make a choice to no longer be violent towards animals. We fight for animal rights. If you were in their position, we would fight for your rights also. That's the whole thing about it, isn't it? It's very easy for you you're in a privileged position. You just get to make choices, and those choices get to oppress innocent animals. It's very simple for you to dismiss every single thing when somebody's telling you, hey, stop oppressing these animals. It's very simple to dismiss it and just point a finger at everyone else and lash out like a little child. But you're oppressing animals. What you're doing to these animals. Okay? It's very easy to lash out and do that position, but if you actually want to be a grown-up, what you can easily do is be a grown-up and say, you know what, that's fucked up. If I were in their position, I wouldn't want that to happen to me. So maybe I shouldn't put them in that position. Simple as that. That's it. Click. That's it. Click. Stop with this nonsense. Stop finding excuses. But what about... No. Nope. Simple. If you were in their position, would you accept as a justification the justifications you use to oppress them? Probably not. Therefore, don't do it. Simple as that. You aren't a grown-up. You do the same shit just to people. I don't force people into slaughterhouses, Elmin. I don't bring people into existence to use them and treat them like objects. I don't do any of that shit. But yeah, I see a lot of people are not going to be listening to reason, and that's fine, because we still have logic on our side, okay? I'll probably see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be on the street with Vegan Future having some conversations. Maybe Lodevijk will also be there. I'm not sure. And if not, maybe Sohan will be there and we'll have conversations. So Sohan's really handsome, you know. So when we'll have the handsome Sohan there, it will always be. It's always a good stream because you'll have handsome people there. You know, when there's handsome people, it's a different thing, right? People like looking at handsome people, so it's going to be good. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. It's been 3 hours of debating. Thank you so much.